Nasty on a Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. No Jamie Rivers today. Jamie is traveling for the Blues. We'll take on the Bruins tomorrow night. 5 o'clock pregame, 6 o'clock puck drop in Boston. So Jamie will be with us for an hour tomorrow. But today, you got us three. And we're going to start off with the college football playoffs. Updated rankings came out last night. No surprise in the top four positions: Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, and Texas Tech. Those are the teams right now that would get a first-round bye if the playoffs were to start tomorrow. So let's just start there. We'll kind of piecemeal this thing together. My question in the top four is, do you guys think, let me rephrase, what needs to happen for the loser in the Big Ten championship game to still earn a bye?
It's a close game. I mean, they're the only two, if I'm not mistaken, the only two undefeated teams left in the top 12.
And they're 1 and 2, and they've been 1 and 2.
They're number 1 and 2, number 1 and number 2 in the country. I expect it to be a close game last year. It kind of got away later in that game. Ohio State took it to them, but I expect it to be a pretty close game. It's in Indianapolis, which is essentially Indiana's backyard, so it's going to be similar to a home game for them, I would assume, although Ohio State travels well. But I think it's solidified that those are the – I don't know if any one of them drops lower than – I don't think they drop out of the top four. I'll say that. I think they're still going to be in the top four regardless of how the outcome plays out.
Unless it's a blowout, right? Like if it's a blowout, I can't see a team getting blown out and
so what if
them
it's
saying it's okay.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I don't think either team's going to get blown out. I mean, Indiana is for the people that haven't watched Indiana play football, they got some dudes. And Mendoza is probably going to be the first quarterback taken. He wasn't even in the picture at the start of the season. You got guys like Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik. I haven't seen those guys play football all year, man. It's been a while.
Why would you want to watch him?
Nussmeier not even starting at LSU anymore. So, yeah, he's kind of taken the college football scene by storm. They got some really good football players, though. Like, it's not just him. It's not just, the running game. It's the entire team at Indiana. And I mean, we don't even need to go into what Ohio State has. So, I think it's going to be a really good game between those two. And I honestly think they'll still be 1 and 2, depending on who wins and who loses.
I agree. Maybe they drop to 3. Let's say Georgia wins. They beat Alabama in the SEC championship game. Maybe they bump up to 2 if Indiana ends up losing to Ohio State. Vice versa, right? Like, who knows? Maybe Ohio State ends up dropping. But I think the furthest that they would drop is to 2. If you lose to 2, you drop down. And then the whole bye, they're both getting byes.
I have the same read as you guys do. I think the loser just needs to keep the game close and competitive, and that you won't have an issue. I think if Ohio State loses, they're the ones that drop to 2. If Indiana loses, I could see them going to 3 if Georgia does beat Alabama.
Yeah.
So then you have Ohio State, Georgia, Indiana, 1 through 3. I do not see BYU beating Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game.
They do.
So I think Texas Tech would be number 4. The other question I have in relation to this is Georgia losing. If Georgia loses, they're definitely out of the top 4.
For sure.
Then I think you'd have Ohio State, Indiana,
Oregon,
Texas Tech, then Oregon.
No, I think Alabama gets a bye.
I don't think so.
You think Alabama jumps all the way up to a top? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
SEC champion.
I don't think it matters.
I think it does matter. The Big Ten and the SEC are the biggest and best conferences in the entire nation. If you win the SEC, you get a bye.
I could see Alabama jumping ahead of Oregon, but I don't think they jump in front of Texas Tech.
That'd be 2 wins against Georgia. Georgia would have 2 losses. Both of them would come against Alabama. Georgia's the number 3 team in the nation. Alabama is what, at 10 right now?
9.
That's right. That's right.
We're
going to get to that.
Yeah.
They're in. They get a bye. They're SEC champion.
He's calling it now.
This is the SEC.
I don't see them going all the way up.
I'm not going to mention the MAC. I'm not going to bring up the MAC. This isn't,
He's not going to mention the MAC, but he did mention the MAC.
No,
because the MAC,
this isn't some other, rinky-dink conference in the United States.
Okay, now I'm pissed.
Right?
You could have won with the Sun Belt.
The Sun Belt.
Thank you.
This isn't the Sun
American.
Belt. Well, there's a reason I didn't mention the MAC, because I didn't want to compare a rinky-dink conference to the MAC.
He did mention the MAC.
The Sun Belt.
All right.
This isn't the Sun Belt. This is the SEC. Whoever wins,
I just don't think. I think if Bama wins, I think they're still. I think you're looking at Ohio State, Indiana. I think you probably have 3 Big Ten teams in the top 4.
No way.
I think it'd be some combination of Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech, and Alabama. If Alabama were to win, I could see them getting ahead of Oregon, who's idle.
We'll see.
Yeah. Alabama would have way better wins than Oregon.
I think
way
they would
better
make the
wins.
Jump. All right, now moving on here. 5 is Oregon. 6 is Ole Miss. I got no problem with that at all. They should not punish the kids for Lane Kiffin leaving. The whole notion that that Ole Miss should be dropped in the rankings because Lane Kiffin took the bag at LSU is absolutely absurd.
And they still
there's no comparison to Florida State, so stop that.
Yeah, and they still have their OC calling plays. Yep. He's allowed to stay
Charlie Weiss Jr.
Call plays. Their DC is, I think, the interim head coach now. He's calling the defense, obviously. So they still got their 2 coordinators. A lot of the coaches are still there. So I think that was the right decision. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. You don't punish the team because the coach decided to go to what he felt like was a better situation. This team has worked their butt off all season long. It's a shame that they don't have an opportunity to get into the top 4 because everybody wants that bye. Mm-hmm. But, you're right there sitting at number 6, and you're playing who? The ACC champ? Or
it
the
depends.
Group of 5 champ?
It's a conference. It just says conference champ right now, which again we'll get to because there's another element here.
There's a team that's not in there either. That's been in there.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
7 is Texas A&M. They were appropriately punished. Mm-hmm. They lose to Texas. They drop. Then Oklahoma. No issue. This is where the first controversy comes in. Alabama is slated 9. Notre Dame is 10. Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame pissed off. What they did, and Carey, I know you've been on the other side of this, but the committee essentially said, Alabama's safe. I do not think they drop out.
Unless they lose.
I think they're safe regardless.
So that goes to the other team that's not in this picture right now, that has been in that picture, which is who? Miami. Miami is not on this top 12, and they have been a mainstay throughout the entire time.
Yeah.
Essentially, Miami is not going to be in.
Well, they were a placeholder
at this point, but they weren't
because they're a placeholder.
They were there, but they still were saying the ACC. They still had the 2 slots for the ACC champion and whomever. So, in my opinion, and I do not see a way a 3-loss team gets into the college football playoff picture. That's just my opinion. I think what will happen is because the committee cannot, with good, you can't look at this and say Duke wins the ACC championship game. They're just for kicks and giggles.
They won't get in.
No.
Why not?
It'll be 2 group of 5s
because it's the 5 highest ranked conference champions.
So who would be the next conference champion?
James Madison. So
you're going to have no Miami.
No, Miami would get in.
Where?
They'd jump Notre Dame. They're not going to not have an ACC team in.
Notre Dame, this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
This is what happens when you're not in conference.
If you were going to do that, why wouldn't you put Notre Dame on the outside and keep Miami in there right now?
Well, they just showed you they're willing to bump up Alabama over Notre Dame.
I think Alabama loses, Miami is in, Notre Dame is in, and you figure out those 2 conference champions.
I don't think you can play in a...
This is the SEC.
3 losses.
In the SEC.
3 losses.
I don't think you can play in the SEC or the Big Ten championship game and be bounced.
3 losses?
It's the 2 best conferences in America.
We'll find out.
As simple
3
as that.
losses.
If they lose,
we'll find out.
We got a text. What if Alabama loses by 40? I think it does still matter
if
how
Alabama
it looks.
loses by 40, then Carey's going to be right on this.
For sure.
Because if you lose by 40 to Georgia,
you're done.
And you have 3 losses, that's enough for the committee to look at and say you're out.
Because they're still looking at data points.
By 17?
Yeah, you might get bounced too.
You lose by 2 touchdowns.
I think they have to be representative. It
has to be a good game.
Yeah.
But even still, I just my opinion, I think it's gonna be. It will be interesting to see how it all plays out. But I think if Bama loses, 3 losses, you're going to tell Miami that they don't get a chance to be in? Or you're going to tell Notre Dame that they don't get a chance to be in? And they have 2 losses and that team has 3? Texas, we understood they
Did
are.
Miami play in their ACC title game?
No, because they got some weird-ass rules.
I mean...
Duke is playing. They got 5 losses, man. What are we doing?
I don't know what to tell you.
It's based on strength of schedule when there's a tie.
That's
and
ridiculous.
apparently Duke had a harder schedule.
Yeah, they played Illinois.
So let's get to there
All
it is.
roads.
Yep.
All roads.
Let's get to Duke now, because people are confused. People are saying, well, if Duke wins, they're in. No. If Duke beats Virginia in the ACC title game and James Madison handles business against whatever Starbucks Little Sisters of the Poor they're playing,
rinky-dink team.
yeah, then James Madison will get in. They will be the highest. They will be the higher ranked conference champion. We think it's group of. We think it's the Power 4. It's not. It's the highest ranked conference champion. Duke isn't ranked, and they won't be, even with a win over Virginia. You got 5 losses. So the ACC won't have a representative unless, like Marcia's saying, Miami. They give that spot to Miami.
They're not going to leave
they still
out
have to
an
pay
ACC team. They won't.
They still have to have 4 conference champions. The winner of the Big Ten, the winner of the SEC, the winner of the Big 12, and then one more.
It has to be 5.
Or 5, excuse me.
Yeah.
So the 2.
Yeah.
2 more. And if it's Duke that wins the ACC title, we're looking at the winner of Tulane, North Texas, and James Madison.
Yep.
In that scenario. This weekend's going to be fun. A lot of fun.
Very interesting.
Yes, sir. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. By the way, that all starts on Friday nights. Friday night we have, I think that's when James Madison plays. Yes. They host Troy.
The men of Troy.
The men of Troy. Was that Jamie, one of Jamie's plays?
Yeah.
Didn't you have the men of Troy one night? Winning outright against somebody? James Madison is a 23.5 point favorite in that game. So they're going to win, and then they're just going to sit there until Sunday night and see what happens. Or wait until they see if Duke could beat Virginia. Then it's North Texas and Tulane in the American Conference Championship game.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you hope that Duke beats Virginia?
I don't.
Really?
Yeah. I'm good with James Madison, Tulane, and North Texas getting in. Cool. You got your group of 5 representative. Fine. I don't know if I want to see 2. And Virginia, as much as we've crushed them, and we don't want to see them, if they beat Duke, that's an 11-win team.
Look at the spread on that game.
It's only 3.5.
That's not good if you're a Virginia Cavalier.
Virginia did crush Duke like 2 weeks ago.
Why is the line so small?
They were a 5.5 point dog at Duke. Now they beat them outright, but to your point, the point spread's a little wonky in that game. Everybody's going to be lined up on Virginia, I'm sure. All right. Is the next core already in the Cardinals organization? I'm talking about in the organization, not on the 40-man roster, but within the organization. We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they always have great deals at their dealership, but it's more than just the deals. It's the fact that when you head out there, you know that the selection is outstanding. They've got over 1,000 vehicles all in one location. So you're not talking about lot hopping, driving around to different places. One location, over 1,000 vehicles. It's Auto Centers Nissan and Herculaneum right off I-55, just minutes from South County. No games, no running around. Real savings, real selection. If you're shopping used, they've got you covered there. New Nissans, priced right, and they got deep dealer discounts going on right now because every remaining 2025 model, they got to get that out. They get those models out so that the 2026 models can arrive and they can replace those vehicles. So, again, now is the time. If you are in the market for a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, that's got to be your spot. Every new Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty and a 30-day return promise. Head out there, tell them Stalter sent you. You can also visit them at autocentersnissan.com, and when you peruse their selection, just know that those Auto Centers Nissan, whatever you see online, they'll have it at the dealership for you as well. Auto Centers Nissan, Herculaneum. So yesterday we were discussing the off-season article written by Katie Wu. And by the way, congratulations to Katie Wu. She's going to be covering your LA Dodgers, Carey.
Congrats, Katie.
Sad to see her go. She was total professional and an outstanding resource to not only fellow media members like us, but Cardinals fans as well. I thought her reporting was always spot on. Mm-hmm. I thought she covered the Cardinals fairly and professionally, and she just always had a smile on her face when we saw her, talk to her. I wish her nothing but the best. We lose in this because she's not going to be covering the Cardinals, but I know it's an exciting opportunity for her. If you read her piece at The Athletic where she talked about born and raised in California, but she has nothing but praise for the Cardinals organization and you, the fan. So I hope everybody wishes Katie Wu best of luck moving forward.
I wish the Cardinals were better to, while she was here.
That would be nice. Yeah.
But there, as a reporter and in what she did with The Athletic, these are the times though that the fans really need the information because it is such a tumultuous time for the Cardinals.
And the Cardinals aren't transparent.
Exactly. I thought she did a fantastic job sort of leading us through this whatever.
Yeah. Well, now it's a rebuild. As we discussed yesterday, if you're willing to trade, not only Sonny Gray, which you already have, Nolan Arenado makes sense because the contract situation, you tried to trade him a year ago. That makes sense. But then when you start to talk about trading potentially Brendan Donovan, Lars Nootbaar, Nolan Gorman, Alec Burleson, you're at least listening to offers on. Who am I missing? Is there another one there? Oh, well, Wilson Contreras. I mentioned Lars. Yeah, okay. I forgot Wilson Contreras. You're rebuilding. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be a competitor again, I don't care what team you're talking about, you need a core. My question to you guys is the core for the Cardinals, the next core, is it already within the organization?
Oh, I don't know. Because I haven't seen these guys do it consistently long enough. You don't know. You still don't know what Jordan Walker's. You know what Mason Wynn is. You have a pretty good idea. He's a solid, Gold Glove shortstop. He's going to be that, I think, year after year.
Yes.
At least in the conversation. You don't know what Nolan Gorman is. Ivan Herrera. He's a really good hitter. What position is he playing? Is he your everyday DH? Cool.
Yes.
Who's playing catch? Who's playing catcher?
Right now?
Ivan Herrera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's getting the surgery.
Not Ivan Herrera.
No, he's in the surgery. He's going to try and catch again.
So he's your DH. And
Poso. Pajes.
what about Jimmy Crooks?
Again, have you seen him play?
The thing with the catcher,
Yes.
the catching position,
Well and long enough to know what he is?
No, of course not.
the catching position, the Cardinals have guys in the system that project to be really good ball players. So they might not have what we're looking for right now on this roster, but there's a lot of pieces on this roster that are not great, right? We have to wait a little bit. So I think that will come in time. So I'm not too concerned about that because I think they have like 3 different options that eventually they can turn to.
Yeah, but you don't know which one it is yet. Like I think.
Well, we don't know anything. We don't know anything.
That's why I said I don't know if you know if the core is here because you haven't seen.
Could it be? How about that? Could it be?
Yeah, it could be. It could snow tomorrow like it did Monday. I didn't know it was going to snow on Monday.
Could Mason Wynn, J.J. Weatherholt, Liam Doyle be your core?
They could be.
Okay.
Anthony,
Okay.
I'll answer this.
All right.
I think the Cardinals have the makings
Yes.
of their next core. I think they have the makings of their next core.
How about the start of their next core?
Yes, they have Mason Wynn. You can pencil him in as part of the core. Now, if you want to add tiers to said core, where it's like this guy's number 1, this guy's number 2,
Okay, let's
3,
do that.
4. For me,
who's in the tier 1?
tier 1
Mason Wynn.
right now he is. If the Cardinals are going to get
Hopefully Liam Doyle.
if the Cardinals are going to get where they need to ultimately be, Mason Wynn can't be your number 1 guy because I need power. I need a power bat. And I also need a bona fide ace. Can Liam Doyle be that? For sure. A team that maybe the Cardinals could end up becoming is like the early 2010 the San Francisco Giants, where like Mad Bum emerged as like the guy. He was the dude for the Giants. Anytime that you went into the playoffs and that guy was on the mound, you knew that you had more than a 50% chance of winning that baseball game.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up the Giants, though, because, and I thought this is where you're going, Lincecum was their ace. Matt Cain was their, he was like the veteran guy, but I think he was only 26, 27. It's not like he was out of his prime. Lincecum, Cain, Mad Bum was 20 years old when they beat the Rangers, and he was their 3rd starter. 2 years, same group of starters. Lincecum started to have his issues. Eventually, they went to the bullpen, and then by the time they beat the Royals in 14,
Right.
Madison Bumgarner's a one-man wrecking crew. But my point in this, and I think to your point, it's if you can build that young starting pitching staff, it is, in my opinion, the fastest way to becoming a contender again. Young, cost-controlled pitching that obviously is excellent. And the Cardinals at times will, like they try to do the innings thing. We've got innings. Are they quality innings? We don't know. Okay, well, you don't have anything then. So I'm not just saying just acquire young, cost-control pitching. I'm saying just having young, cost-control pitching that is good will be the fastest way back to being a contender again. Even if you don't have a banging offense. So that Giants offense wasn't that great.
No, I'm looking at their opening day lineup right here. Aaron Rowan, center fielder.
And he wound up being replaced by Andres Torres.
Edgar Renteria, pretty good shortstop.
Yes, but, aging.
Pablo Sandoval, third baseman.
Turned out to be a stud.
You had Aubrey Huff, first base.
He had a great year, but somebody that's, again, he had a good year. It's not like he was a fixture.
Mark DeRosa in left field, former Cardinal. Benji Molina catching.
Who was eventually traded to the Rangers when Buster Posey came up midseason.
Juan Uribe.
Yep.
Won a World Series with the
Giants and the Dodgers.
Yes. Tim Lincecum started that.
There you go.
I mean, that lineup.
That lineup didn't strike fear into the opponent's hearts. Mm-hmm. But what they did have was unbelievable pitching. And at the deadline that year, they got better with their bullpen.
Do you think like Alec Burleson could be a Brandon Belt type player?
Sure. Now, Brandon Belt was an elite defender.
You think he can get to that type of defense, Alec Burleson?
He might. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he wants to be in a Brandon Belt, you take it.
Now, do the Cardinals have like a Hunter Pence on their team? Can they find that? Would you consider him a part of the core as the years went?
As the years went on, yes. Okay. Yeah. See, Lars Newbar could be that, but he can't stay healthy. Pence was always durable. Mm-hmm. But in terms of like that potential spark plug and somebody that can deliver kind of the big hits when you need it, I think Lars could be that guy, but he's never healthy. Which is why I trade him to the highest bidder this offseason.
It's going to be interesting.
So we get a text from the 314. Let's just kind of recap this. From the 314, core should be Herrera, Wynn, Weatherholt, Burleson. Are you cool with that core being the dudes that move this franchise forward?
No. And it's got nothing to do with those guys. Mm-hmm. It's got everything to do with, you didn't mention a pitcher. Right? You did Herrera, Burleson, Wynn, and Weatherholt?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
What if you threw Doyle in there?
I mean, you got to start now.
Yeah. And he hasn't even he's not even pitched a Major League Baseball game.
To me, I think you're the fixtures, you have to have a 1-2. 1-2 in the rotation.
Yeah, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola.
Exactly. The Dodgers had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That'd be nice to get to. But I mean, if you look at consistent champions, they had 1-2 shortened series, and guys that can actually pitch deep into games. So you don't have to do the thing where it's like, just get us 3 and we'll piece this thing together. No. Get 2 dudes. Develop those guys. Develop pitchers that can pitch deep into games, as opposed to taking the rubber in the first inning and throwing it as hard as you possibly can and being burned out by the 5th inning, which, by the way, is how Max Scherzer started. The Tigers were like, we can't, I don't know, we don't really know what to do here. Or was it Arizona? Was he with Arizona first? No, he was with Arizona. Sorry, Arizona first. Arizona's like, he's good for 5, but eventually Detroit got him, and then he turned into somebody that added to his arsenal, learned how to actually pitch, and then Max Scherzer became one of the top aces in the game for a long stretch. So for me, it starts with pitching.
Yeah.
Carey's in.
All in.
Carey's all in.
Carey's going to snow tomorrow, by the way.
Probably.
Is it?
Actually, I have no idea. I don't want to throw that out there. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't. The roads are they're finally starting to clear up.
Yeah, kids are back in school. Let's not do that. Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
Marsh made a mistake, but Marsh is going to correct that mistake next with What's Trending here on 101 ESPN.
Missouri, it's happening. FanDuel Sportsbook is live and ready to roll in the Show Me State. And they're celebrating with a little something for everyone. All this week, every customer gets a no-sweat bet every day. That's right. No matter what you're betting on, if it doesn't hit, you get bonus bets back to keep the action going. Whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or whatever you're into, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and built for every kind of fan. The interface is quick, the payouts are fast, and the experience is top tier. So download FanDuel or visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook now live in Missouri. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required each day. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $20. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues are off today, but they'll be back in action tomorrow, taking on the Boston Bruins. We'll have an early pregame for you right here on 101 ESPN. It starts at 5. Puck drop will be at 6. The college football playoff rankings came out yesterday. We are going to talk in depth about those throughout the show. But coming up next, we're going to get into what's trending. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Topics in the sports world.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Guys, Omaha. What I had initially, I'm going to scratch it out. I want to continue the conversation that we were just having because we had multiple people text in asking why Brendan Donovan is not a part of the core that we just set up in the previous segment. Is that because we have, in this hypothetical situation that we just brought up, is it because he is traded? Or what is the reason behind that?
Well, I will actually refer to Katie Woo's article from yesterday because it answers that very question, which, by the way, is a good one. Brendan Donovan continues to garner the most interest, writes Katie Woo, but rival clubs are also engaged on Lars Nootbaar and Nolan Gorman to a lesser extent. Donovan continues to be one of the most coveted trade candidates available, but the Cardinals are not inclined to move him unless they receive an offer they simply can't refuse. On the surface, it makes sense for St. Louis to trade their lone all-star representative. Donovan is fresh off the best of his career, best career of his life, and will be a free agent after the 2027 season. A timeline multiple sources within the organization concede will not line up with the team's next competitive window. That is why. And I will read that part again. Donovan will become a free agent after the 2027 season. A timeline multiple sources within the organization concede will not line up with the team's next competitive window. It's not as if they don't like Donovan. It is not as if they don't view Donovan's talents and his leadership as a major benefit and asset to the team. The problem is these guys become free agents, and you're pressed then to decide whether or not you're going to trade the guy or sign him long-term. The Cardinals are in a rebuild. That's the key here. And when you're in a rebuild, you don't have the luxury of saying, well, we really like you. We're going to pay you a bunch of money, but you're going to be our only guy that we're going to hand a bunch of money to.
Right.
You're in a rebuild, which means who's at the top of our roster that commands the most. And that's Brendan Donovan. It's a timing problem. If the Cardinals were closer to their finished rebuilds, then maybe you entertain re-signing Donovan long-term. But you're at the beginning of your rebuilds. So Donovan becomes attractive to everybody on the open market, or a lot of people on the open market. You sell him to the highest bidder, and you get a king's ransom for him.
And I said this, and people might not like it, but I think Brendan Donovan is a hell of a baseball player. But he can't be your best baseball player. And he was your best baseball player. He's not a, in my opinion, we all play professional sports, we all have our role. Brendan Donovan is a complementary piece on a damn good team that can help you win a championship. But if he is your best player on your team, and that's no knock against Brendan Donovan, it's just, it is what it is. If he's your best player, your team is probably not as good as it needs to be.
It's like Jake Neighbors at the time being the leading goal scorer for the Blues.
If he's your best player, your team is probably not everything, because that should be Jordan Kyrou. It should be Robert Thomas leading the team in points. It should be one of those guys. Buchanan, those are the expectations for those players. If Brendan Donovan is that, that's why you probably see some teams like, I don't know, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the New York Yankees, the Mets, the Boston Red Sox, like teams that have championship lineups, rosters.
That are a piece away.
They are a piece away. A solid, a damn good infielder that can play outfield, that can play multiple positions, and a left-handed bat that can hit the hell out of the ball in the gaps and get you from first to second and first to third and put you in a position where you're going to score runs.
Dr. Xander says the timing of Donovan couldn't be more perfect, though. Wu said there are 15 teams on him right now. They are going to get premium value. That's my point.
Correct.
When I said it's a timing problem, I meant as Cardinals fans that want to keep Donovan. That's the problem. The timing is too good for the Cardinals to trade him. It's bad from a standpoint of if you want Donovan to be kept, you're at the beginning of the rebuild. So, Dr. Xander, I agree with you.
I also wonder how much Tommy Edman's success 2 seasons ago in the playoffs makes Brendan Donovan that much more attractive in terms of plugging into what you would consider to be an almost, if not already, championship lineup. Because I believe Brendan Donovan is better than Tommy Edman, and Tommy Edman, an LCS MVP. He was that guy in a lineup full of superstars.
Yes, Donovan would be an incredible piece for multiple teams. I don't know if the Dodgers need him, but the Phillies, plug and play wherever you want them. Toronto, same deal. Yankees, Astros, he'd be the perfect damn Astro. There are teams that are building either have a contending roster or expect to have one next year. That Donovan, you could put him anywhere. Infield, outfield, he'll play
Correct.
above average defense, if
And
not
if you
elite
have that
defense.
many
It depends on where it is.
If you have that many teams that are seeking his play, then you're going to be able to get what the best offer on the table.
You're going to be able to win the deal
Correct.
on paper.
Correct.
Now, whether or not you could develop those prospects, that's a whole other story. The other thing is he can lead off. I think Donovan's the perfect lead off. Somebody that is comfortable getting into 2 strike counts, somebody that is comfortable having the opposing pitcher show his full arsenal in the first at bat. Like, Donovan has immense value on the open market.
Do you think if the Blue Jays, you just mentioned the Blue Jays, do you think if the Blue Jays don't get Bo Bichette back in Toronto, that he would be the perfect fit there and that could be the perfect trade partner? We know that the Blue Jays, they have pitching. We just saw one of the young guys step up and be one of the best pitchers in the World Series.
Send us that guy.
Well, that'd be nice. I don't know. I don't know if Trey Savage is going to be a Cardinal, but that would be cool.
I'm trying. Cool. I'm trying.
I feel like he'd be a really good fit there if they don't bring back Bichette.
He'd be a perfect fit.
Or he could be a perfect fit even if they do. But,
exactly. That's my point, right? He can play outfield, he can play infield, and we joke about it, but the guy can play anywhere.
Last thing here.
And he's a great clubhouse guy, too.
He is. He really is. Last thing, going back to that previous segment, Anthony, you talk pitching all the time. The 618 has a different take. Pitching is great to have, but it's also the most fragile and unpredictable position in all of sports. Just look at how many big dollar pitchers miss serious time every year. Building around pitchers is a huge gamble.
That's why you get a bunch of them.
Exactly. You beat me to it. That's why you stockpile pitching. You're not wrong. 618. Is that what a 618?
Yes.
You're not wrong, 618. That's why you stockpile pitching. The other reason you stockpile pitching is because when teams start calling around for teams that are selling, so teams that are buying and they're calling around as sellers, what are they normally asking for? They're asking for pitching. So whether it's the Dodgers stockpiling pitching and sending it out for things that they need, or using that pitching because, to the 618's point, they're fragile, having that in droves is key. The other thing that you did mention is big money starting pitching. That, I think, is more of a gamble than what I'm suggesting, which is building through the draft with pitching. Like signing a bunch of free agents, that's a different ballgame.
No.
I'm talking about building.
And I think that's what the Cardinals did this past draft.
Yes, I
drafted
agree.
a bunch of pitchers.
Yep.
The expectation is to continue to build, and you just traded Sonny Gray. You got more pitching back. Like, I think that's the mindset because, as the texter said, pitching is fragile, right? The Dodgers went through, I don't know how many pitchers they went through. Like, I don't know how many people started 62. A game for them this season.
Week.
It was a lot of people that started, and eventually some of the guys started getting healthier as the season, started coming to a close. But for the last couple of years, that's just kind of pitchers get injured. But if you got a bunch of them, and they all are high-level guys or have the potential to be high-level guys,
right?
Your team is not going to be in that much trouble because of it.
Agreed. All right. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Thank you, Andrew Marsh.
Yes.
Who you can join this Sunday from noon to 2 at Horseshoe in St. Louis. Caesars Sportsbook is now live in Missouri, and you can download the only sportsbook app with Caesar rewards and start betting like a Caesar, including an exclusive offer for new users, plus a chance to win an epic trip to Vegas for the big game. Come check it out in person and hang out with our guy Andrew Marsh this Sunday from noon to 2 at Horseshoe St. Louis, located at 999 North 2nd Street in downtown St. Louis. If you missed that address, don't worry. You get all the details at 101ESPN.com. Must be 21 or older. Physically present in Missouri. Got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Do the Blues have the right pieces in place from a core standpoint? We just talked about the Cardinals. Oh, the Blues are done with their whatever. Do they have the correct core? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN. So we continue our core first hour here. We talked about the Cardinals and whether or not they have the core within the organization, or they could. They have elements, or they have the starting of it. Do the Blues currently have the right core? I would answer that question this way, boys. I would say I thought they did. I thought they had the right core. When you're talking about Jake Neighbors and Robert Thomas and Kyrou and Dvorsky wasn't even there to start the year, so I can't. Booch. I can't include him. Yeah, Booch. Again, before the season started. Holloway, Broberg,
Parayko,
Snuggerud. Yeah, I thought that they did.
Now, with the Blues in their core, could we eliminate some of those players and focus more on the guys that are being paid the most?
We could.
Would you consider that to be, okay, these are the core players. They've been here the longest, and they're getting paid?
Not necessarily. I don't think always equating the money, the contract to the performance is the right thing, because they got paid because of where their status was for where the market was, right? Buchnevich, obviously you can't include him as part of the core now, but he's making big time money. I think the other problem you have is that who's your young defensive core? Because Parayko's now what, 34, 33?
He ain't 34.
33?
Because we learned that yesterday.
I don't think he's that old.
I think Colton Parayko is...
He's 32.
32, okay, 32.
I think.
I was way off.
He is 32. Man, that means I'm getting old, man.
Okay. Broberg's 24. Like, you love what you have in Broberg. But if Logan Mailloux doesn't develop, the whole reason you gave up Zach Bolduc is because you knew you didn't have a young defensive core that could rival the top teams in the Western Conference. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And not that Logan Mailloux is going to step right in and be that guy. So there is some runway here. Sorry to use the word nobody likes here in St. Louis, but there's some runway here with Logan Mailloux. But if he doesn't develop into that strong defensive guy, then no, you don't have the core.
So for me, I think I consider the core like the guys under contract that are going to be here. So I do consider Thomas, Kyrou, Booch, Parayko, like based on the contracts, those are guys that you are projecting to say, hey, these guys are going to be here for the next 4 to 5 years at bare minimum, because those are the contracts that they signed. That's the expectation. 3 years, Cam Fowler. Like, you're looking at those guys and saying, these are the people that we're relying on. And then you have kind of the complementary pieces that come up and give you a boost. Jimmy Snuggerud, Jake Neighbors, some of the other pieces that you're not considering your mainstays. The core is your mainstays, the guys that are there throughout numerous seasons, that are there for the playoff runs, that are there for the bad seasons, like guys that are on that team for multiple years, in my opinion, when I think about the core. That's why I said with the Cardinals, I don't know what the core is, because ain't none of them guys been together long enough to be considered core guys. So for me, yes, your core players are here. And then if you want to win, they got to play. Like, it's sports is very simple, man. Like I told you, like on a rare occasion, you can have Steve Kerr hit a jump shot, right? You can have John Paxson hit the game winner. B.J. Armstrong, go ahead. But if Michael Jordan ain't playing at the highest level, you ain't going to even make it to the playoffs. That's his job. He's the main guy. And you notice I gave 3 guys. Those guys were interchangeable. They all 3 had a role, but they all 3 were in different times on different teams. But the main core guys, Scotty, Michael, like, those are the guys that got to perform. They're paid the most. They get the most shots. They're supposed to do their job. Jordan Kyrou, Robert Thomas, Buchnevich, you get the most ice time. You're supposed to take the most shots. You're supposed to score the most goals. You got to do that. Colton Parayko, you got to stop it.
Yeah.
Cam Fowler, you're supposed to be the ones that are stopping those things. And then everybody else kind of fits in as they go. And you can have some players ascend into that core role, If Jake Neighbors continues to have 25 goal seasons, yeah, you're damn right he's part of the core. You know why else? He's going to get paid like it as well. Dylan Holloway, Broberg, they're going to get paid like, so now they're added to the core. But your core right now is those 4 or 5 guys, and I would put Justin Falk in that conversation as well. He's been here for a number of years also. Like 4 or 5 years in an organization, and you're being paid as one of the top players on that team. You are the core piece. You have to play like it, though. And until those guys play like it, you can get mad at Jordan Bennington. You can get mad at Logan Mayu. You can say, Matthew Kessel, you stink. You're not good enough. Okay, cool. Nobody, Nathan Walker, you're injured now. Sonny, you're moving too slow. Nobody gives a damn because nobody on that team expects those guys to be the mainstay. The guys that need to do it are the guys that are getting paid like it. And if they don't, you ain't going to win.
So I guess the question is, can this team...
Speak a lot of truth.
Can this team ultimately play the way that you just said at the highest level to get this team back into cup contention? Or do they need to bring somebody else in, a la Ryan O'Reilly for the 2018-2019 season? They end up winning the Stanley Cup. Or is it just a completely different scenario?
You know, I mean, I'll state the obvious here. If a Ryan O'Reilly type is available and you can bring him in, absolutely. I don't know if there's a savior, though. I think what you said initially there, the first part of the question is, can they perform that way? Yeah, we've seen it. Have they? Are they right now? Absolutely not. But it's got to be that. It's got to be this group. This is the group that Doug Armstrong assembled.
Yeah.
I often go back to what he said at the end of the year because he said it multiple times in his postseason presser. The whatever is over. This is the group that Army put together that he felt as though was going to take that next step, that proverbial next step, which at the very least is a second round appearance, if not more. And they have stumbled out of the gates, and it's starting to get late early. They have got to get on a streak here, and based on their play, doesn't look like that's going to happen. They're treading water right now. Yeah. At best, that's at best. They're treading water.
I guess we'll have to wait till March for them to get it going.
Yeah, you know, March is a great month. We know that here in the fan zone.
It is.
Hey, join Carey Davis and 101 ESPN this Saturday at Genesis of St. Charles for an afternoon filled with festive family fun. This Saturday from 1 to 3, bring the whole family for face painting, a coffee, and a hot cocoa truck, and special appearance by Louie and the Blue Crew. You can even grab a photo with Louie in his Santa hat. Will you jump in that photo too, Carey?
With Louie?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I might put the hat on.
There you go. Plus, Carey will have your chance to win 101 prizes, including a signed Blues puck. That's this Saturday from 1 to 3 at Genesis of St. Charles, located at 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway. Get all details at 101ESPN.com. Marsh is going to ruin your day next on 101 ESPN.
Notre Dame went on the road, had a strong win at Stanford, but Alabama went on the road in a rivalry game. Looked really good, especially in the first half, getting up 17-0, ran the ball well. Auburn came back at them. They had a great gutsy call on 4th and 2 late in the third quarter to get a touchdown, and then got the turnover late in that game. And I think that was enough to change the minds of a couple of committee members to push Alabama up ahead of Notre Dame in this week's rankings.
So that was Hunter Yurachek on the selection show on ESPN and why Alabama jumped Notre Dame in the polls. I felt like he was reading his own personal notes.
Dude.
You know, it's like, and then Alabama went for it on 4th down when they could have kicked the field goal. What a gutsy call there after they got the touchdown. Of course, I talked about how it's a gutsy call. Like he was just reading his own personal notes after watching the Iron Bowl on Saturday night. Now, Marsh, I teased it, and I think I teased it appropriately. You're set to ruin a lot of people's days today with a thought that you had.
Yes, and again, this is just a thought, right? Because I listened to what he said. I personally think Alabama is a better football team than Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just say, well, we think Alabama is a better football team than Notre Dame? When I hear stuff like this, well, you know, they were up early in the first half. And then Auburn came back in the football game. What? What? So, wait, they came back, right? They came back. It made it a close game. Gutsy call on 4th down.
Right.
Gutsy call.
I mean, it was. They could have kicked the field goal, but they said, you know, what's hell with that.
You know what, Anthony? I'm glad they went. If they didn't go for that.
Front door cover, too, by the way, if you had them.
They don't go for that. They don't jump Notre Dame.
No.
They win that game, but they don't go for that 4th down. They don't jump Notre Dame.
Carey, good teams win.
Great teams.
Cover.
Yeah.
When I hear stuff like that, it makes me think, what are they talking about with the selection committee? Like, what is going on in these conversations? That's seriously one of the reasons why Alabama
seems a little flimsy.
It seems very flimsy. So
what's your idea? What's your idea?
Here's my question, and people are not going to like this. I don't even know if I like it. But should college football use the BCS selection system to determine the playoff? And I'm not talking about 1 and 2. We're having 12 teams. You know what? Let's even bump it up to 16. But instead of having all these different, voices in a room talking about who's better than this team, who's better than that,
right?
Let's just go back to the computers. AI exists now. I don't think it did back in the day to the extent it does now. I just plug it into the computer. There's no outside voices. What are your thoughts on that?
So what you're saying is turn it back over to the robots.
Yes.
Let them do 1 through 12.
Let them do 1 through 12.
All right.
There's no bias for a conference or whatever. We're looking strictly at certain things. We're looking at head-to-head. What a weird concept.
Right. I'm picking up on the sarcasm on that. All right, but here's the thing, Marsh.
Yeah.
The question is, will it matter, right? So I'm just going to use, and I haven't looked at the entire list, okay? We're about to do a live experiment here, which is not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do a controlled experiment.
And by the way,
live.
With this, it could be the exact same. We have no idea.
Now okay, so that's my point, right? Now I don't know. But if they use the computers, right, they go back to AI, or they just go to AI or whatever, and they factor in all the different metrics. ESPN does have the FPI, not the FBI. They don't own them. The FPI, the Football Power Index, where they do the strength of schedule and the win percentage and all the numbers, right? Are you guys ready to do the top 12 teams?
Let's do it.
Let's see if it matters, okay? Now, do you have the teams in front of you, Carey?
The college football playoff?
Yep.
Let's see. I can pull it up real quick.
So we're going to compare. What we're going to do here is we're going to compare ESPN's
You just want the
FPI.
rankings. Yeah.
So we'll go one by one, all right? Because I've not have the list unveiled here.
All right.
The number one team for the computers this year would be the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Okay.
All right.
Same.
Number 2 would be the Indiana Hoosiers.
Same.
Okay. 3 would
I think
be
it's just the Indiana Hoosiers.
Say it's the
That's a different.
the way they're playing.
Okay.
You put some respect on their damn name.
You ready?
right.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Again, according to ESPN's FPI, the third team would be Notre Dame.
Stop.
Yeah. Fourth would be Oregon. And fourth, we have Texas Tech, right?
Fourth, we have,
And third was Georgia.
Yep.
Fifth was Texas Tech. 6 Alabama,
Okay.
7 Miami, 8 Georgia, 9 Utah, 10 Texas A&M, 11 USC, and 12 Ole Miss.
So it does matter.
The committee?
With the committee and this FPI.
I think they are factoring this in. Now, the teams that would be left out right now, Oklahoma would be the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, and maybe this goes to your bigger point, Marsh, if there was more transparency and better explanation to how they got to the point that they did with the ranking, that would be better.
And my overall point, like, at the time, the BCS system, I thought was a bunch of BS.
Well said.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of it, and I'm not even married to this idea by any means. I'm not. But when I hear explanations, and you just brought it up, the transparency of why these teams are located where they're at, I'm like, I don't want to hear it because it's stupid. You're not making any sense.
Yeah,
right?
You're drunk. Go home.
So I was like, I almost just go to the conclusion, just give it back to the robots. Give it back to the computers. Let them just deal with it. That way, you literally, what are you going to argue with a robot? You going to argue with a computer? I guess you could.
I mean, you could, but it'd be dumb.
Will Smith did.
Will Smith,
that robot went rogue, though.
which one was it? iRobot?
Yeah. No, one of them was good, though. His name was Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny was
Sonny.
Of that other one.
No,
Yeah, threw somebody off the...
Yeah.
No, that was
Spoiler
Sonny.
alert. Sonny was bad?
No, Sonny was framed.
Yeah, Sonny didn't do it.
He was told to do it.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Well, technically, he did it then.
So, and then he did it.
Yeah.
So Sonny was bad for a moment.
Then he turned good.
Was
Can you throw somebody off a building and still be good at some point?
I think so.
Depends on who you threw off the building. Yeah, okay. You thought like I did on that one?
I had I'll save it for later.
I wonder.
I almost threw a guy off a boat. That's lame.
That's different.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, what part of the boat? And how big was the boat?
That's a big
we're in
boat.
Lake Michigan.
So it wasn't a cruise ship.
Nah, that'd be murder.
Right.
Just wanted
why
to
I
get the
asked.
hell out of my face.
Okay. You didn't throw him off the back, did you?
I wouldn't have known. Just would have thrown him. We were standing still, though. We weren't.
By the way,
Oh, okay. You're all right.
Carey pocket dialed me, not late, but like last night. And it just brought me back to when I texted you guys about the altercation that I had, off the field. And
Carey's
Carey
ready to go.
immediately called me. And so I was like, oh, man, I wonder if Carey has something going on where I need to step in.
Yeah, good for you,
and
Marsh.
maybe poke somebody in the eye or something.
Yeah.
Did you
know?
call him back?
I texted him back.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
It was a pocket dial.
It was a pocket dial.
Do you get pocket dialed a lot being an A name? Because I do.
It's only happened a few times, mostly by my mother.
Okay.
And Carey Davis.
All right. There you go. Nice.
I'm in good company.
But anyways, the robots.
All right, so do we all agree that
I don't need
there
a
should
robot.
be some sort of committee that uses the analytics but also has better transparency with why they rank certain teams with how they did?
I think the eye test it depends on who's watching, right? You can say, I don't think Alabama beating Auburn by 7 is a particularly good win. Auburn has 5 wins on the year. They fired their coach. Like
It's
they
the
are.
Iron Bowl.
I don't give a damn.
Okay.
They shouldn't. Michigan played Ohio State in the. I don't even know if they have a game name for it, but they beat the hell out
It's
of them.
the game.
The game. It wasn't close. Why? Michigan wasn't good enough, and they got 8
It was
wins.
close in the first quarter.
Yeah, when Michigan scored 6 points, Julian Sayin threw an interception on his first drive.
Yep.
They only got 3 points, and they held him to another 3 points. I said, Michigan's in trouble, man.
Yeah, and they were.
If you're not going to score touchdowns, it's going to be problematic for you.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, the BCS is flawed. Don't get me wrong. Like the 2004 Auburn Tigers, that team that went undefeated and didn't play in the national championship game. I believe USC played Oklahoma, and Oklahoma got blown out by the Trojans. That Auburn team was very good, and they didn't make it.
Right.
Now, we're not playing with 2 teams here. We're playing with 12,
Right.
so it's a little bit different.
You need a combination of the two, and you need somebody that can explain things better than what they have. That's my opinion.
And maybe they are using the analytical robots and all that stuff, but it really comes down to the transparency. Why do we have, or at least had, so many frustrations with the Cardinals and what they're doing? What are they doing? Well, we don't know because the communication was terrible, and I feel that same way right now. So,
well, he told you. He said he was reading his notes. He said they went for it and got it, and they won. And Auburn put up a fight. They actually came back in that game because Auburn should be in that game with you. Probably not.
Okay, guys, we're moving on.
People think I hate the SEC. It's not that.
You do.
It's
you
not
have
just
to know
that.
it is exactly
I did say this. I have said this, though. Even if it were a Big Ten team with 3 losses, you got to go watch the college football playoffs. Don't care who you are. 3 losses, there are too many teams that have better records that don't have as many losses. Oh, it's the SEC. So what? Win. Texas tried to get into the damn college football playoffs, and they lost to Florida. But we played the Ohio State, and you lost. So what? Oklahoma played a good team. They won. Win your games, man. Who gives a damn?
I am with you on that.
Just
Especially
win.
like Marcus Freeman. He's complaining because they went to 10th. Win.
Just win. You lost 2 games early in the season by 4 points.
You could have a bye right now.
You could. But you didn't.
But you didn't. All right.
Real quick here, Sheepy Reporter says Vegas odds makers should decide this. They know more than any of us or the committee.
Oh, 100%. True. 100%.
True.
All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. NFL 4 Downs next. is Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Time for NFL 4 Downs.
First down.
All right, guys. Do you think the Bengals could still win the AFC North?
Yeah.
I do too. I said no earlier this week. I said, it's not going to happen. And I wouldn't bet on it. But, Carey, if you look at the Baltimore Ravens and Steelers schedule, it is absolutely in play that the Bengals can make still win the AFC North. The Ravens are playing the Steelers this weekend at Cincinnati after the Bengals just crushed them in Baltimore. They got the Patriots, the Packers, and then they're in Pittsburgh. So that's the Ravens schedule. If you look at Pittsburgh's schedule, obviously they play the Ravens in Baltimore. They got Miami, at Detroit, at Cleveland, and then the Ravens again at the end of the year. The Bengalis this week at Buffalo. Next week, the Ravens. They're at Miami, Arizona, and Cleveland. I mean,
I think they got a chance.
At worst, they got the best. They got the easiest path. The problem is, I still don't think that defense is going to hold up, and the defense is gonna cost them.
But at least they can score with everybody now. They have been doing that.
They kind of did that before, though.
Yeah, but you feel a little bit better when you got Joe Burrow as opposed to Joe Flacco. I don't know why. It just do.
They were scoring.
They're 2 games back of the division lead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And you got your quarterback back. I think that's why they were, very excited to have him back, because the AFC North is a bleep show, man. It is bad football. I talked about it yesterday with the Pittsburgh Steelers, how they're struggling, how they were booing the team. They booed the team during Renegade.
No.
Do you understand how bad it is to boo during Renegade?
Yeah.
That is our calling card. When that song, the jig is up, the news is up, they finally found me. They booed.
Damn.
Like, it's bad. So, Pittsburgh, you got to figure it out. Baltimore, I don't know what, offensively, I don't know what the hell they're doing. You should run the ball when you play bad teams. They can't stop the run, but you give your best running back 10 carries. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, to answer your question, I think the Bengals can find a way back into this conversation. And that would be pretty damn amazing if they found a way to win this division with your quarterback missing, 8 to 10 weeks? He missed a lot of time. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they were able to do it. But I do think that they can, because, nobody else wants to win it.
If they do win the division, obviously they'll have home field advantage in that first round. Given the landscape of the AFC playoff picture right now, would you consider them to be a front runner to win the AFC?
Who's that?
The Bengals, with Joe Burrow, a team that's done it before.
The division, you're talking about? Or
if they win the division, they get to the playoffs. I know, still no.
No, I just can't get there with the defense. I can't. They got a minus 94 point differential, and I know it's a lot of that can be attributed to Joe Burrow being out, but again, Joe Flacco, it's not like he wasn't putting up points against people.
Yeah.
So no, I can't get there. I think it's possible. I just don't think it's I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's possible, not plausible. Yeah.
Possible, not probable.
Not probable. Sure, we'll go there.
Okay.
But to CD's point, this division is an absolute mess. I think the Ravens are going to win it, but it ain't going to be pretty. I mean, the winner might win 8 games, which is a really sad state of affairs.
That'd still be, I think, 1 game better than the NFC West when the Rams had a chance on Sunday Night Football and lost to the Seahawks.
Yeah, the Seahawks were 7-9.
Yes.
And then beat the Saints in the Marshawn Lynch earthquake game.
Yeah.
Beastquake game. Yeah.
Man.
It's rare when a division leader has a losing record, but it has happened, as we know. All right, go ahead.
Second down.
All right, second down, boys. Good thing I lost my sheet here. There it is. What's wrong with the Colts? What's wrong with the Colts? Or have they merely hit a rough patch?
I thought that when they lost to the Steelers, I was like, that was a bad sign. You had 6 turnovers. You didn't run the ball effectively. Jonathan Taylor has kind of slowed down, I think, in these last 4 weeks. I don't think it's his doing. I think, teams are loading the box. You're going to have to find a way to make some explosive plays downfield. And we know that, if you don't know, Daniel Jones is dealing with, I think, a broken fibula in his leg. He's kind of banged up, but he's still playing. but you got to find a way to create some more explosive plays downfield. And I think all things will be okay. They played a really good defense last week in the Houston Texans, which, I mean, that defense is elite. And, you know, they're struggling again to find ways to run the football. If you can't run the ball with what I considered the NFL MVP earlier this year, you're probably not going to have any success.
Could this be just who they are? You know, entering the year, if we were to say the Colts at this point in the season, not knowing that they've dropped 3 of their last 4, and by the way, they could have easily lost in Berlin to the Falcons.
Yeah.
I mean, that game went to overtime, but the Falcons had every opportunity to close the game down and just couldn't because that's who they are. But if I were to say to you the Colts are 8-4 at this point in the season, you'd be like, holy smokes, yeah, wow, they're having a really good year.
Yeah.
So are things just kind of evening out to who they are?
It's possible. But I think they were so red hot early on, and Jonathan Taylor rushing for 200-plus yards and really dominating the game in that fashion with dominating the line of scrimmage. They were the team that was more physical up front, and they were having more success. Right now, they're getting stopped. They're not having the explosive runs or having the big plays, and I think all of that is part of the problem right now where they're not having, you know, the success offensively because it runs through the running game. But in order to get that going, you have to create some space with some offensive passing plays downfield to kind of alleviate that 8-man box and make sure the guys aren't stacking the box on your run game because everybody knows Jonathan Taylor is going to be the one to get the ball, right? You know you're going to lean on him heavily. But in order to, at this point of the season, teams are saying, okay, Danny, beat us. And if you can beat us, then, you know, you throw for 350 and we lose, cool. But I'm not going to give him $175 running the ball. And I think that's where they are now. So it's going to be, in my opinion, on Daniel Jones to figure out a way to get one of those huge passing games just to start to alleviate some of that pressure for Jonathan Taylor and those guys up front.
Yeah. The other thing that you mentioned, that the key here is that Daniel Jones is playing compromised. I mean, he's clearly playing hurt. He's playing through a fractured fibula. There's no way that he's able to maybe complete some of those downfield passes with what he's doing.
How long has he been playing with that, though?
I think a couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple
last
weeks.
week for sure.
Yep. But so to Marsh's question, I actually saw Indy's defense start to fracture a little bit. Remember when Jacoby Brissett, and I mentioned it at the time, remember when Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals went into Indy?
Yeah.
They put up 27 points, and they moved the ball pretty effectively. The following week, the Colts won against the Chargers, completely blew them out. The Titans, they played the Titans, they stink. Then the loss to the Steelers came. The Falcons put up 25 against that defense. Then they lost to the Chiefs. They blew it late. Why? Defense couldn't get off the field, and Jonathan Taylor, they couldn't sustain a run. And then last week, I mean, Houston had every opportunity to really open that thing up. They moved the ball effectively. They just couldn't get it in the end zone. So I think there's a couple of signs here that the Colts are starting to fracture.
I just wonder if Daniel Jones is going back to the Daniel Jones that we all know and kind of love. You know, I mentioned some stats to you in the break, Anthony. His EPA, which is expected points added, week 1 through 8, he was ranked 4th in the NFL. So it's EPA plus CPOE, which is completion percentage over expected. He was ranked 4th for weeks 1 through 8. Now 9 through 14, he's ranked 25th. We're seeing a regression, and maybe it is attributed to the injury, but maybe it's just Daniel Jones being Daniel Jones. Teams are figuring him out, and at the end of the day, he's the same quarterback that he kind of always has been.
Sure, it's possible. All right, go ahead, Marsh.
3rd down.
What do you guys think has led to the Cowboys' turnaround? I mean, Dak Prescott was already playing well, so his play has been great. CeeDee Lamb is now back, and George Pickens has been excellent. So it's not like the offense hasn't been playing. Is it the defense?
It's the trade.
The trade of Micah Parsons?
No, well, kind of, but the deadline trade.
Quinnen Williams?
Yeah. I think Jerry Jones got it right.
I think he got that one right for sure. They have stopped the run consistently in recent weeks. Yeah. The Eagles couldn't run the ball against them. The Chiefs can't really run the ball against anybody not named Indy. So I don't know how much you can take out of that. But they have kind of become a pass funnel team. They are forcing teams to throw against them.
Yeah, if you can't run the ball up the middle, you're probably going to have to pass the ball. And I do think Dak is playing at an MVP level. I thought that he would at the start of the season. You get two elite wide receivers on the outside like that, and they found some running game with Javonte Williams. Like, they've been doing a really good job offensively of scoring points. Like, you're down 21-0 to the Eagles, and you run off 24 to win that game. That's a team that showed confidence. They showed an ability to get stops, and they showed an ability to put points on the board. So, the last 2 weeks, you've beaten the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs back-to-back weeks. I think they have figured some things out, and I love the way that Dak is playing football. George Pickens, I said it when the Steelers traded him. I just felt like it was a bad decision by the Steelers, but I thought it would help this Cowboys offense tremendously, and it truly has.
All right, we'll do a quick 4 downs here. Go ahead.
4th down.
Sam Darnold last week didn't play well. Minnesota blitzed the hell out of him. Could we see a late season collapse of Sam Darnold like we did in Minnesota last season? I think we could.
Marcy just mentioned Daniel Jones coming back to earth. Maybe Daniel Jones is Sam Darnold is as well.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Carey, because I have the EPA plus the CPOE of Sam Darnold as well. Weeks 1 through 9, first in the NFL. Weeks 10 through 14, 22nd. So we're seeing the same sort of regression from Sam Darnold. I mentioned that, and I've mentioned this before, Sam Darnold can't win a big game or doesn't play well in a big game. Played against the Rams. Guy looked like Max Brosmer out there.
Nah,
4 interceptions.
Wow. Nobody looked that bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That was pretty bad. Yeah, that was bad. But my point still remains, he hasn't proven it yet to be the guy that ultimately wins that big game.
Sure.
So while the Seahawks, they're going to be a playoff team, they're playing really good football, that would be concerning for me if I was a Seahawks fan, just because we haven't seen it yet.
I under no, under no circumstance do I think the Seahawks are going to lose to the Falcons this Sunday. I will say this, though. Atlanta blitzes quarterbacks frequently, and they've got, finally, after 3 decades, they've got a pass rush. I expect the Seahawks to win this game. It will be interesting to see how Sam Darnold performs after Minnesota blitzed the hell out of him last week and Atlanta gets after him this week. We might know a little bit more after this Sunday. All right. Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. How much trouble is Penn State in right now from a coaching standpoint? They don't look good. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues back in action tomorrow, taking on the Boston Bruins. We'll have the pregame show for you right here on 101 ESPN starting at 5 o'clock. Puck drop will be at 6. We'll talk with Joe Vitale at 5 o'clock today, so stay tuned for that. But we're going to dive back into some college football next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Who would have thought that James Franklin would have found his next head coaching gig, and then there'd be many weeks that would pass, and Penn State would still be left without a head coach. And we're seeing more and more people come off the, not the unemployment line, but be hired. Brian Hartline, who has been an assistant at Ohio State for a long time, is now the new head coach at South Florida. Alex Galesh is now the head coach at Auburn. We know that Kalani Sitake rebuffed Penn State and is staying at BYU.
What does that say?
He's comfortable.
He went to BYU.
Yeah, he's a BYU guy.
That means he's comfortable there and he's familiar with it, and I'm sure they gave him a good raise.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
So who's left for Penn State when it comes to realistic candidates? Because Matt Rule at one point was being bantied about, but of course he's going to stay in Nebraska. He get a new deal. I don't think Matt Campbell's moving.
I don't know why. Like, to me, he's the best guy to go get. What he has done with Iowa State, man, that's a guy that you got to get him in the building.
Eli Drinkwitz obviously was at one point being mentioned, but he signed his new deal. One possibility is Manny Diaz, unless I missed something. But Manny Diaz is the current head coach at Duke. He could lead Duke to an ACC conference championship win. Even if he doesn't, though.
Come on.
This is the point of the conversation, right? No matter who I throw out there, and we will get to what Big Ben said, by the way, but no matter who I throw out there outside of Matt Campbell, you could shake your head at.
You have to, I think you're going to have to look outside of the known head coach names, in my opinion. Like Will Stein, the Oregon offensive coordinator who just got signed to go to Kentucky as the head coach, I think that would have been a perfect option. Like somebody that is innovative, that knows the college football landscape. You've been recruiting for Oregon, so that's clearly, if you can recruit at Oregon, you can recruit at Penn State. Something or someone like that where, that could be a conversation. It's probably not going to be, there aren't any real big-name head coaches left from the college football landscape that are out there and still looking for jobs. You're not going to go get Brian Kelly. He just got fired. Like, you're going to have to go, and I don't know that having that retread is the best decision anyway. So
right.
Finding the young, up-and-coming, kind of what the NFL motto has been, the up-and-coming offensive coordinator, the great offensive mind that coaches for the Rams probably, and he gets hired somewhere else. Like, that should be the mindset, in my opinion, for what Penn State is looking for at this point.
Or they could hire from the NFL. Here's Carey's former quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger.
It's being talked about around here a lot. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's a clean house time. Maybe it is. Maybe it's time. And I like Coach Tomlin. I have a lot of respect for Coach Tomlin. But maybe it's best for him, too.
Sure.
Maybe a fresh start for him is what's best. Whether that's in the pros, whether maybe go be Penn State's head coach. You know what he would do in Penn State? He'd probably go win national championships.
So Big Ben said that on Football and about Mike Tomlin. Am I reading into this too much? He goes, and I like Coach Tomlin.
Nah, I think
normally
he's just saying.
Normally say, like, I love Coach Tomlin.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it was that. I think, he was saying that, like, No, I like Coach T. I like what he's done. He's done a great job, but maybe it's time to part ways. And I think that seems to be kind of the mindset for some people, that maybe they feel like this has run its course. You're not able to really put an imprint into the NFL playoff picture year after year. You're there, you're in the conversation, and then you're out of it before the conversation really gets started. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what Ben was saying. And I don't want to speak for him, but I can tell you, in my opinion, I don't think no way in hell Mike Tomlin goes and coaches Penn State.
No, he'll be in the NFL. If he gets fired,
if he gets fired, he'd have
somebody will fire their head coach to make sure that he is the next head coach.
Yeah, he's not.
One in Atlanta could use one.
There's there aren't many NFL head coaches who have coached that long and are still at the top of their game that would willingly, and I mean willingly, go to college to be recruiting every damn week. During the season, during the offseason, having to be on the phone, having to look at film. It's this. College coaching and NFL, the game plan is completely different. So I don't see Mike Tomlin going to coach any collegiate football program and being the head coach and taking it over. Now, if he's just volunteering after he leaves, or if they part ways at Pittsburgh, maybe. But going to be the head coach at Penn State? Nah, Ben, I don't think that's happening.
What about Brian Daboll?
Would you want Brian Daboll? What has he done?
Based on what you have right now, I think Brian Daboll looks pretty good.
Again, I would be Brian Hartline would have been a perfect pick.
Well, he's gone.
He is, but I think Penn State is they're shooting for the moon, and they ain't hit nothing yet.
We also have to take in consideration, not only does Penn State have to pick said coach, the coach has to pick Penn State. Mm-hmm. And I know Penn State is Big Ten, one of those schools that is a storied program. But, I mean, look at their recruiting class right now. If you're stepping into that right now, you're stepping into some dog doo-doo.
Yeah, it's not great.
No.
So we wish you good luck, Penn State. But you're screwed. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Is it wise to trade for a big name during a rebuild? I would say absolutely not, but maybe Marsh can change her mind. That's next on 101 ESPN. Miguel from the Gauntlet will get his shot at Jamie, but Jamie won't return until next week. So right now, that version of the Gauntlet is on hiatus, which means we do need a new Gauntlet contestant for 4 o'clock today. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. If you'd like to play in the Gauntlet today, text in, and you might have a shot to play either Marsh, Carey, or me. Now, Marsh, you had mentioned in the office to me, you had found an article in which the article was talking about different players that could be dealt in the offseason. And I know there's a couple of names that intrigued you, but I think there's also a big picture topic here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, the Minnesota Twins, they're in debt, just a terrible organization. So they decided, well, we're going to trade basically everyone on our roster last year. And so they're just not in a good financial spot right now. And I think they're coming to the conclusion we need to move more people from our roster to maybe a different roster for money purposes. That includes Byron Buxton, Pablo
Sandoval?
No, not Pablo Sandoval.
Pablo Escobar?
Lopez and Joe Ryan. I'm really intrigued by Joe Ryan because he just throws gas.
Yes.
Throws gas. I love that.
Really good pitcher.
Would love him to be a Cardinal. But Anthony, as much as I would love him to be a Cardinal, it sounds like it doesn't make sense.
Let's look at the contract, shall we? He is arbitration eligible the next 2 seasons, and he will. I mean, he's going to get a lot of money. He's already 30. Mm-hmm. How much sense does it make to give up Liam Doyle in a deal for Joe Ryan?
It doesn't make any sense.
There you go. That's the key to that, right? Would you want Joe Ryan? 100%, yes. What's it going to cost?
Right. And so he's number 6 on this list. But let's go down the list because the lower we go, I would assume the asking price also gets a little bit lower. So let me bring up a name that you've brought up in the past, someone that we're very familiar with. Pitcher for the Marlins, Anthony. Sandy Alcantara is number 22 on this list. You mentioned last year that you would trade for Sandy Alcantara. Do you feel that same way right now?
No, I don't know how much. I don't know how much that would make sense. Yeah, that's right. That's the question. What are you giving up in a deal for Sandy Alcantara? His contract, by the way, he's got 1 more year left. I'm sorry. He's got one more year left because we just played the 2025 season. So he's got 1 more year left. At 17.3, he's got a club option for 21. So let's just say you pick up the deal. So you got 2 years of him. By the way, there might be a lockout, which has to be factored in here as well. So how much sense does it make when you're rebuilding, and make no mistake about it, this is a full rebuild, to acquire any sort of player that's got 1 or 2 years left, knowing there might be and probably will be a lockout?
I don't think the Cardinals are going to be treading in the trade for not bigger contracts or in the market for free agent signings of bigger contracts. I think they are, if I'm reading the room correctly, and what Chaim Bloom seems to be doing is drafting pitchers, trading for high level pitchers, higher ceiling pitchers, guys that you can build in your organization and have around for when this team, and this is in hopes that the guys that do stay here, if Jordan Walker is here, if Nolan Gorman is here, Mason Wynn will be here, Victor Scott more than likely here, Lars Newbar, whatever position play, Ivan Herrera, in the hopes that those guys get to the point where they are everyday, really good everyday baseball players, some all-stars, some, really potentially, hopefully, higher than all-star level caliber players, then that pitching comes in and you have it all there, and you are looking at an organization that is 2 to 3 years away from that, which is competing for championships. I don't know that adding a Sandy Alcantara or going out and signing a huge free agent name right now, it ain't going to matter. You're just going to have that guy pitching every 5th day, pitching his butt off. And he's going to be getting his butt kicked. And he's going to be losing, and he's going to be pissed off, and you're going to be pissed off, and then he's going to be asking for a trade. He doesn't know what I signed up for. So I don't think signing a veteran,
and that's why you traded Sonny Gray.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you just illustrated what happened with Sonny Gray.
100%.
Yeah. And the whole point of even bringing this up is for those out there that still are like, the Cardinals need to trade for a big player because we need to win next year. That's not going to happen.
It's a pipe dream. I'm sorry.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, to your point, Marsh, there were still people that were like, why are we trading Sonny Gray and getting pitching? He is pitching. Like, no, you're not winning next year. Your timeline at best is like 2027. That's really not realistic either. It's 2028 at the earliest.
2027, you hope that you are contending for a playoff berth. Like you're fighting. Like 26 is going to be. We're learning on the fly here. We're getting reps. We're getting better. Probably gonna get our teeth kicked in. Then we're gonna have some games where we really look good, and you're gonna be like, oh man, you're gonna be excited, and you're gonna realize it's a young team. Like, okay, this is a young team.
Right.
We're figuring it out. 27, you got that experience. You're like, oh, we might be on the cusp of something here, and you'll get some excitement.
That's
and you'll have some really good games, and you'll be maybe on the edge or the verge of making a playoff push. And then 2028, 3 years, you got those guys that have had the experience. Your pitching is mature. Your hitters are confident and comfortable in where they are and who they are. And now you expect to win the division. And now we're going to make a run at some real playoff experience, some life-changing experiences here in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know what you hope to be in 2027? What the Reds just were.
There you go.
And they were a playoff team, so I even think that's
correct.
That's a little
long shot.
I don't even that's a realistic either.
Well, you got to hope that you play.
83 and 79.
You got to hope that you play. I think a lockout would not be good for this particular team.
No.
Because if you're trying to progress, and let's just say that progression is linear, well, then you're taking a full year off?
That's correct, sir.
That's not good.
Not at all.
I don't think they'll get to a full year. Sides usually come together in the 11th hour.
We come together all the time.
Somebody gives something, somebody gets a little something, somebody gives a little something. They come to an agreement. Best deals are made when both sides feel like they didn't get what they wanted.
Yep. Both sides
feel
furious.
like feel like they gave too much.
You're looking at, why are you pissed?
Right. That's when you know it's a good deal. We're both pissed off that you got something that you're like, So I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, it's Fast Line on 101 ESPN. We get the Gauntlet next.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
4:05, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Big Ty to the program. What's up, Big Ty?
How you gentlemen doing?
We're doing great. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing today. Would you like to take on Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, or me in round 1 of the Gauntlet?
I think I might take on you, Stalter.
Oh, Big Ty. I was not expecting that. Of course, I always say that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really expect CD to get chosen because he's usually the first one chosen. All right, Big Ty. Good luck.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, Ty, do you go by Ty, Big Ty? Does it matter? You good?
Ty's fine.
All right,
I'm just
Ty.
a large human.
All right, Ty. Anthony is handed out to the cone of silence. Tell Marshy to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marshy.
All right, Ty, is there a specific category that you're hoping for today?
I always enjoy the random whenever I'm listening, so.
Okay. Well, it almost landed on random, but it landed on
Baseball.
Nice, that'll work.
All right, so you know how this goes. You answer the question correctly without the options, you get 2 points. You answer it correctly with the options, you get 1 point. And if you answer incorrectly, you get 0 points. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Among the hottest names this winter is Cardinals All-Star Brendan Donovan. How many 100-hit seasons has Donnie already compiled?
I'm going to say 2.
Final answer?
Final answer, sorry.
Question number 2. The Brewers remain in search of their first World Series appearance since 1982. Can you name that Milwaukee team's leader with 39 Ding-Dong Johnsons, 39 home runs?
Oh, I'm going to need the options.
Options are Cecil Cooper, Ted Simmons, or Gorman Thomas.
Ooh. B, final answer. I have no idea.
Ted Simmons.
Ted Simmons, final answer.
Question number 3. Among catchers last season, who committed a National League leading 7 errors?
Ooh. I'm going to need the options on that one, too.
Is it Patrick Bailey, Pedro Pages, or William Contreras?
Let's say Paez, final answer.
And question number 4. Identify the current manager of the Kansas City Royals.
Ooh. Options, please.
Is it Dale Swayam, Matt Quatraro, or Ned Yost?
We'll do Ned Yost, final answer.
All right, we'll get Anthony back in here. Can he see you, Marshy? Ty, how you feel?
Not great.
Okay, all right. Well, it happens. We'll see what Anthony is feeling. He was in the cone of silence. He might have been in there with some company. Might not have had the time to think to himself.
Yeah, so...
No, go ahead, Ty.
I did the 4 o'clock fight years ago, and Randy mopped the floor with me. So
no.
All right. Cone of silence by yourself or no, Anthony?
No, so I actually, as I was walking out, Jordan was in there. Eventually, Grant was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan was listening to the Gauntlet, so I go, you know what? Jordan just flagged me down. I'm going to go down the hallway here.
Yeah, integrity.
Damn right.
That's what that is.
And I also didn't want to be, and she was like, no, I'll just turn it down. She wants to enjoy the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
So
everybody loves the Gauntlet,
yeah.
Anthony. And you will too. The category today is baseball.
Okay. Anything but rando.
Marshy?
Pack a lunch.
All right. Among the hottest names this winter is Cardinals All-Star Brendan Donovan. How many 100-hit seasons has Donnie already compiled?
100-hit seasons.
Yes.
That's a good question. Well, this year would be 1. I don't know if he did it last year because he was hurt toward the end of the year. When did he come up? 2021? I think he came up. 21, 22, 23, no, 22, 23, 25. I don't want to ask the options because you'll give me like 1, 2, or 3. I'll go 3. I think he did it his first year, second year. He didn't do it last year, and then this year. I'll say 3. Final answer.
Question number 2. The Brewers remain in search of their first World Series appearance since 1982. Can you name that Milwaukee team's leader with 39 ding-dong Johnsons?
I cannot, sir. Can I have the options?
Is it Cecil Cooper, Ted Simmons, or Gorman Thomas?
All right, I'm going to eliminate Ted Simmons. I don't think that doesn't sound right. Gorman Thomas or who?
Cooper. Cecil Cooper.
Cecil Cooper. Let's go with Cecil Cooper. Final answer.
Question number 3. Among catchers last season who committed a National League leading 7 errors?
Seven errors isn't a lot, so I'm assuming leading meaning he had the fewest.
Among catchers last season who committed a National League leading 7 errors?
Okay, I'm going to... Boy, I hope I got a good read on this. So Patrick Bailey won the Gold Glove, won a Gold Glove. So I'm assuming it's him, unless I don't have the right read on this. But 7, again, is not a lot. So I'll go with Patrick Bailey. Final answer.
And question number 4. Identify the current manager of the Kansas City Royals.
That would be Matt Quintero. I hope I'm saying that right. Matt Quintero. Final answer.
All right. Let's roll through this. We just roll straight down, Marshy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That can either be a great thing or a horrible thing.
Excuse me. Among the hottest names this winter is All-Star Cardinals All-Star Brendan Donovan. How many 100-hit seasons has Donnie already compiled? Without the options, Ty said 2. Without the options, Anthony, you said 3. Correct answer is?
It is 3.
Ooh, nice.
2022, 2024, and 2025.
So he did it last year, despite being injured. Toward the end. Okay.
Question number 2. The Brewers remain in search of their first World Series appearance since 1982. Can you name that Milwaukee's team leader with 39 ding-dong Johnsons? Ty, you said Ted Simmons. Anthony, you said Cecil Cooper. Correct answer is?
Of course, it's Gorman Thomas.
Oh, Gorman, the Fisherman Thomas. Darn it.
Anthony is up 2-0.
Nolan Gorman Thomas.
Nolan Gorman Thomas. Of course it was him.
Among catchers last season who committed a National League leading Among catchers last season who committed a National League leading 7 errors? Ty, with the options, said Pedro Pajes. Anthony, without the options, said, is that supposed to be a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure. Patrick Bailey won the Gold Glove. Gotta be Patrick Bailey. You didn't take the options. Correct answer is?
It's Patrick Bailey.
It's Patrick Bailey. All right. Anthony is up 4-0. The final question, identify the current manager of the Kansas City Royals. Ty, with the options, you said Ned Yost. Anthony, without the options, you said Matt Quatraro, or at least tried to. Correct answer is?
It's that guy.
Ty.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
Well, I'm probably the biggest guy you've ever taken out behind the woodshed.
You have to be, right? You go by Big Ty.
Big Ty, you got you 6-0 today.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, Ty.
It's all right. It's still fun, guys. I appreciate it.
No, appreciate you. Thanks.
Yeah,
thanks for playing. And thanks for listening, man.
We'll see you guys.
All right. That's Big Ty here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN.
Anthony?
It didn't feel good, I'll be honest. He seems like such a nice guy.
He probably is a really nice guy.
How's it feel, Anthony? How's it feel to be on that side?
It just doesn't feel good.
Dirty.
Although, a win feels good.
Come to the dark side, Anthony.
Yeah. A win is a win.
Win is a win. That's right.
We don't complain about wins.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. You know what? Let's do this before. I'm gonna plan ahead a little bit, boys. Ooh. Hey, we have your shot to score a pair of tickets to Guns N' Roses on August 16th at Busch Stadium. Tickets for the show are now going to be on sale this Friday, I should say, December 5th at 10 a.m. But we have your chance right now to win free tickets to Guns N' Roses. You have to answer the trivia question correctly. By the way, did you guys guess the trivia question from yesterday?
Oh, I don't have a clue. There's a Guns N' Roses question?
Yes, it was.
Good luck.
On the Spaghetti Incident, the album, they had a hidden track. That's all cover songs, right? One of the songs that they covered on the hidden track was actually written by a famous criminal. That's the question that was yesterday. Mm-hmm. That criminal?
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of issues, huh?
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Absolutely.
I don't know,
Yeah.
Yeah. All of it.
Uh-huh. All right.
Wow.
This one's tough, too. I'll give you some options. Ozzy Osbourne said that if GNR had stayed together, they could have been the next Who in terms of the band. Not the Who.
Who?
No.
Who?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
I knew that one.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Ozzy Osbourne said that if GNR had stayed together, they could have been the next blank band. Want some options?
Where are we?
Sure.
The Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, or Aerosmith. So those are your options. Send it in the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. If you have the correct answer and you're the 101st texter, you'll see Guns N' Roses on August 16th.
You gave options. That's the first, isn't it?
I know. I thought it was tough.
That's nice.
Was tough.
I'm very proud of you, man.
Thank you. I thought it was tough. Mm-hmm. So, that was a good question. Those two things combined, that's how we got there.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. All right. Is Indiana here to stay under Curt Cignetti? Or do you think Curt Cignetti just takes the next best job in like a year or two? Nah. He passed once, but, come on. All right. We'll get to that next on 101 ESPN. Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jared Kelly on Twitter said that Curt Cignetti on recruiting versus Ohio State, quote, "I'd like to think we're at the level of Ohio State in recruiting, but we're not right now. Ohio State's in a league of their own for a lot of reasons, and are we closing the gap? Yeah, I think we're closing that gap." I think this is somebody that's being honest. He says, "I'd like to think that we're at the level of Ohio State in recruiting, but we're not right now. Ohio State's in a league of their own for a lot of reasons. Are we closing that gap? Yeah, I think we're closing that gap." If Curt Cignetti does stay at Indiana, is Indiana here to stay? I say 100% yes.
I think he's done a fantastic job of, recruiting, getting the players in there that can win games, that have kind of that grit and determination. You got Mendoza from Cal. He was at Cal last year and didn't perform like he's performing now. He did okay, but he's not playing. He was not playing at the level that he is right now. I think Curt Cignetti is I think when he's able to get the elite players, because he's a hell of a football coach, right? He's a guy that understands concepts. He understands, how to out leverage you, how to beat you, and it's not always. I watched this Indiana team, and I've watched them multiple times. Obviously, I got to watch them up close and personal when they played Illinois. They didn't do anything spectacular, man.
No, they were running a lot of slants.
They were, right? They took
a lot of double slants.
What the defense gave them. And the one thing about being an offensive coordinator that you learn is we're not patient by design.
Yeah.
It's boring to go a 5-yard route. It's not fun to throw the 5-yard out, to throw the 3-yard slant. It's not. It's boring as hell.
It's boring to do the same thing.
It's boring as hell to do the same thing. And so eventually, as an offensive coordinator, offensive play caller, I got to take a shot. Mm-hmm. Even when it's working, Curt Cignetti like, nah, I don't. They ran RPO, slant. The first time I saw them actually throw passes downfield was the Penn State game when he had to.
Yeah.
Mendoza hit a couple of seam passes that were outstanding, a sideline ball that was outstanding. Like he made some really good throws in that game, and so you're like, okay, he can do that. But I think Curt Cignetti, when he's able to get those guys, like Elijah Surratt is a pro. He's a guy that gets the ball in his hand. He runs hard. He's physical. Amar Cooper is a pro. Like, those guys are really good receivers that when you get the ball in their hand in space, they're physical. They can be explosive when they get out of tackle. So I think he's done a really good job of getting the players that fit his system, but they're not Jeremiah Smith. Mm-hmm. They're not Carnell Tate. They're not Mekhi Lemon. But when you win – and if you find a way to win a national championship or at least be in the game, he's going to start getting some of those players.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is you're going to say, oh, well, Indiana can win. Indiana can send players to the National Football League and have success. And you're like, okay, we can go there and win, and I can play against the Ohio States. And I don't have to wait, 2 or 3 years behind a Jeremiah Smith and Tate and figure out when I'm going to get my opportunities. I'm going to play right away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Curt Cignetti is here to stay, and he's going to be a problem, a thorn in the side for a lot of Big Ten opponents and anybody else that's playing them in the college football playoff.
So if Indiana can make it to the national championship, potentially win a national championship with Curt Cignetti, who stayed there to build said program, why can't you do that at Ole Miss?
He could.
I'm talking about Lane Kiffin.
Oh, yeah. No, I can.
These two are the polar opposites. They're the polar opposites. Where Curt Cignetti, he could have went to Penn State. Mm-hmm. If we're comparing, right, another Big Ten school, probably a lot more money than Indiana. They definitely have a better pedigree in terms of winning. He could have done that, except for he stayed to build this program to be one of the best in the nation. Whereas the other guy decided to go to a different team instead of build up the program even more than what he's done right now.
Yes, I agree with that. And you know that I do, because the last couple of weeks I've talked about the NIL kind of evening things out in college football. Not completely, but if you're at a big time program that has NIL numbers, dollars for days like Ole Miss, there's no reason that Lane Kiffin couldn't use that to continue to build up Ole Miss. I completely agree with that. Going back to Curt Cignetti for a second here. I love what Curt Cignetti's doing. I love what you said too, CD, about him being patient as a play caller. because whether you did it, high school level,
Nobody
much
wants to do it.
big, a high level, like in a high school and a big program here, or coaching flag football, man. When you're calling plays,
you want to score.
You want to score.
Yeah.
You want to make it fun.
Yeah.
We're killing them with just a run to the left side. Screw it. We're going to throw to the right.
It's boring.
So for him, that's very impressive. Even more so than that, though. He's at Indiana. This guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I love the fact that despite being in a conference that has Ohio State and Michigan and now USC and UCLA, it is, in some respects, it's never been easier to win. In other respects, it's never been harder because with conference realignment, you now have bigger programs that have deep pockets like a USC that's coming into your conference. And you have to try to win against those guys, too. I highly doubt small-ass Indiana is throwing around a lot of NIL dollars.
So he's getting – I don't have the numbers in front of me. I wish I did. I know that they were getting a significant amount of money. Now, nobody is getting – I think Ohio State and some of those bigger programs, they spend a lot more money, which is why they're able to put that type of money into their program and into their players. But Curt Cignetti is so this was last year. I'm looking at it right now. Last year, they were ranked 12th based on numbers, just behind Penn State. 13.6 million. Penn State was at 13.7. This was December of last year. So going into the 2025 season, where they were ranked in terms of how much money they were getting from their collective to be able to pay out to potential players, it can get hefty.
Sure.
If you have enough people backing you. But what also happens when you win, more people want to say, I want to be a part of that.
Right.
I want to help, assist. I got Indiana people are coming out the woodworks, just so excited about what they've done this year. And you should be. It's been a spectacular year.
You've been called a basketball school for 10 decades now.
There you go. So I think eventually, I don't know when it comes down to when you're talking about Lane Kiffin and why he would leave, because I think it still comes down to, if I'm at Ole Miss versus LSU, am I going to get that fight? Is Jeremiah Smith going to make a decision to go to Indiana over Ohio State when he's coming out of high school? The next Jeremiah Smith? Probably not.
What about Penn State?
Probably, maybe.
Penn State compared to Indiana.
Probably. So that's why I think Lane Kiffin makes that decision. Curt Cignetti is still going to get top tier players, but he's not. And if you're unless you're in Indiana, from Indiana or surrounding area, it's still going to be hard to get that top, 2 or 3 player in high school at that position or transfer. Mendoza wasn't. I think he was 6th or 7th in the transfer portal for quarterbacks. He wasn't the top one, but Curt Cignetti saw something in him and said, "This kid can play. I'm going to get him." And now he's risen to be a Heisman candidate. A first-round draft pick. He wasn't even on the board. Nobody even talked about Fernando Mendoza before the season started.
Right.
Nobody knew who he was, really. Unless you were really dialed into college football, I wasn't watching no Cal games.
Right.
But when you see him play, this kid can play some football. So, it's finding those gems. It's finding those guys that are overlooked. And Mendoza was one of them, and a couple of guys on their roster are as well.
And what you're saying is I totally get it. I think just for me with the whole Lane Kiffin thing, and this will be the last thing I say about it, but I think for me it's just my personality and how I view staying with a certain team and building something rather than just jumping ship to something that is kind of already built.
Yeah.
I find value in the person that stays to go through the hardships of the building a program.
Sure.
Program.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. We got part 1 of our Sports Six-Pack coming up. If you have a question for us, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Send it there. Sports Six-Pack, part 1 next.
Missouri, it's happening. FanDuel Sportsbook is live and ready to roll in the Show Me State. And they're celebrating with a little something for everyone. All this week, every customer gets a no-sweat bet every day. That's right, no matter what you're betting on, if it doesn't hit, you'll get bonus bets back to keep the action going. Whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or whatever you're into, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and built for every kind of fan. The interface is quick. The payouts are fast, and the experience is top tier. So download FanDuel or visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook now live in Missouri. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required each day. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $20. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. A little update, little news from your St. Louis Blues. Matt Luff has been recalled from the Thunderbirds, the AHL affiliate for your St. Louis Blues. So congratulations to Matt Luff. The Blues will be in action tomorrow as they take on the Boston Bruins. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. We'll talk with Joe Vitale at 5 o'clock today, so stay tuned for that. But get your questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line as we are doing the Sports Six-Pack next. Get them in, 314-399-9646. We will do part 1 of our Sports Six-Pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
We used to play a game, and I guess it still exists here in the Fast Lane, called Troll or Text. So, Marsh, do you want to start off? Is this a troll or a text? Troll being like having fun, trolling us, or an actual text because the person is serious.
Yeah, I don't know. Carey's going back and forth right now with the 314, who took a screenshot, by the way. Program versus program.
Mm-hmm.
And the 314 says it's program, as in grandma, not program.
I think that's a text. That's my official ruling on that. I think they're serious.
I prefer football program. And he or she responded, well, it's wrong. And I said, sorry. It's how my grandma taught me.
So what Carey is doing in this sequence is trolling this person.
I'm having fun.
The person texting, I think, is actually texting.
He or she might be pissed off.
Just FYI, we're joking around.
What?
Yeah.
That's program.
Yeah.
When you're so here's the thing. When you establish a program for a number of years,
it becomes a program.
It becomes a program.
Okay.
It's how hard you work. It's the number of years that you work to establish that damn program.
That makes sense.
It's the heart, the sweat and tears that you put into it.
Yeah.
The blood, sweat, and tears that makes it a program. Now, when you first get there, it's just a program. You're trying to figure it out, trying to get your team together. I just got this program. I'm trying to. But when I've been there, I done put some years in, and you hear my voice gets hard. Go Tiger.
Right.
It turns into a program.
That makes sense to honestly.
That's the best description
you're
that we could
absolutely
have ever.
That's what it is.
And you don't even know you're saying it differently.
You don't.
Like year one, you're saying, "Hey, listen, I want to establish a really good program."
Yeah.
That is what you hired me to do.
Listen, man.
I can't wait to. But when you've put in the work,
5-6 years,
5-6 years, all of a sudden that same person is like, "No, this program's working in the right way.
This is how this program is.
This is how we're doing this program."
It's a well-oiled machine at this point. It's
Go Tigers.
Go Tiger.
Yeah. Go line.
Yeah.
Fire up chest.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You and me proud.
There you go. Yeah.
Why don't we do the six-pack?
Question number 1.
All right. We're getting spicy, as Jamie likes to say, the kids like to say these days. From 618.
Jamie likes to say the kids like to say these days.
Why was Chief fired? Blues are no better under Jim Montgomery. You guys won't discuss it. Yes, we will.
Never.
But it's true. Do you feel that way?
The what? The Blues are better?
They're not better.
They're not better? Well, no, of course not. Chief won a Stanley Cup.
I think they're saying that you fired Chief, you fired Bannister, you got Monty here, and it's still the same team.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've said this.
I love Monty, but yeah, I agree with that.
I think he's a hell of a coach. So now that
we have talked about it,
now you look at the players.
Slick mother.
It's always
the players. Yeah.
It's always the players. It's never. It's. I won't say never, right? But I've said this, and Jamie has said this. At times, people put too much emphasis on the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the coach got to do. Hey man, I have yet to see. Hey man, I have yet to see a coach get out on the ice, take a slap shot, stop a puck, block a blitzing A-gap blitzer, Mike linebacker in the A-gap. Haven't seen it. I ain't seen a coach cover a receiver downfield. keep his hands to himself. Like, at some point, the men on the field, on the ice, on the court are responsible for what the hell takes place. And if you do not do your job, I ain't seen a coach. Ali ain't Lisa's texting and she said, "Are you talking about me?" No, Lisa.
No, we're not talking about you.
Just saying in general. But I ain't seen Ali take one swing in the batter's box last year or the year before or even the good years when Albert was here.
That's correct.
So
Yep.
all I can do as a coach is put you in a position for success. And then it's your job to be successful.
Yeah. But we agree with you. So there you have it. It does make me laugh, though. Not that you guys will talk about it. Shut up! With all due respect. With all due respect.
Watch this.
But we agree, by the way. And I'm just having fun, when I tell you to shut up. Just having fun when I tell you to
Can I answer this real quick?
Shut your mouth. Yeah.
CD's take on that is trash. If it wasn't the coach, then why throughout the history of time do coaches get fired from teams in any sport? Because bad players get good coaches fired.
That's true.
That's part of it. And then some coaches aren't good. Like your team. Hey, the players can outplay a bad coach. I've said
Andy
this.
Reid got let go in Philly.
He's a damn good coach. How'd that turn out for him?
Real well.
Okay.
What, he finished dead first?
Yeah. Like 5-6 years. We going to the Super Bowl again. Like, good coaches get fired all the time because of poor play. That doesn't mean that they are bad coaches.
No, sometimes
every coach that gets fired is not bad.
The other thing too is that sometimes your time in that spot runs out. That may have fit with Berube too. It may have just felt like the message has grown stale, and they move on. Certainly was the case for Andy Reid. And there's in Philadelphia. And there's other coaches that are like that too. Hell, Tom Landry got let go.
Yeah,
they didn't want to let. That was a bad day, and
that was
it was a rough day.
They had a parade for that guy.
And what happened?
They won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You know what, Anthony?
Tom Landry's bad coach.
No. When things go stale, just go back to the grocery store and get something new.
Okay, see, you're doing it, not me. So you can't put that on me.
I don't think you need to go to the grocery store for that.
Don't put that hate on me, Ricky Bobby. All right, should we continue our Sports Six-Pack next here on 101 ESPN? Let's do that. Next.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. Part 2 of the Sports Six Pack starts off with question 3.
Is it 3? I thought it was 2.
No, we got through 2, didn't we?
One was the program question troll.
No,
that was the Blues
Did we
question.
only get through the one?
Yeah, it was a good question, though. We talked about it.
Okay, yeah, then question 2. My apologies.
No, it's okay.
Question number 2.
All right, this one comes from the Water Boy. I was listening to a sports show yesterday.
What sports show?
And they were listing the top 10 NFL teams in the league so far this year. One of the hosts said the Jets were the 4th best team. Sounds like that guy hit his head in the pool one too many times. Which AFC and NFC divisions are the best so far this season? I feel like he could have left out that first part and just asked the question.
Probably.
Maybe that host was trying to prove a point. A bigger point.
No,
and
that
the context got mangled.
Now, that host was being spiteful.
Sure.
Yeah.
Either way, that is why he said the Jets, Jets. Anyways, what was the question? The real question?
Which divisions are the best in the NFC, AFC?
No question, the best division in all of football is the NFC West.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good man.
Some would say, what about the NFC North? Yeah, they're very good. It's very good.
You don't want to put them in there because it's the Bears, and you don't believe in the Bears.
That's not true.
No, that is true. I tried to put the Bears at number 2. Like, the Chicago Bears. Oh, no, what the hell are you watching?
I did not say that.
You sounded just like that, too.
Pick'em challenge for this week.
Yeah.
Bears in L.A. to take on the Rams.
Is that who they're playing?
No.
The Bears don't play the Rams this week.
The Bears play the Packers.
I know.
Who are you taking?
That's honestly even better. You taking the Bears or the Packers? In Lambeau. You got them rated higher. You got the Bears rated higher than Green Bay.
Yep.
You liar. Which goes to my point yesterday. What are we doing with the criteria?
We base it off of what's happening now,
data
what
points,
has happened in the past week or two.
Mm-hmm.
You put teams on there that lost that week, and you want them higher than teams that won, that had good wins and records are better. And I felt like that was a bit problematic. You had the damn Bills on there one week. You forgot they lost.
First of all, that was the Eagles that I forgot lost. Second of all, that was a long time ago. It was a Thursday night game. Third of all, Bears going to L.A.
The way the L.A. played last week?
Yeah.
Give me the Bears.
You're not
Did
being...
you watch the Rams play last week?
Serious.
Yeah.
You're just not. You're not being truthful.
If I may.
Yeah.
The Bears took an early 7-0 lead on Friday against the Eagles.
Yes.
Now, both teams scored 3 points in that second quarter, but then the Eagles stormed back, right? They stormed back.
They put up a fight.
But in the final quarter, Anthony, the Bears, gutsy play in the fourth quarter, running the football, and outscored the Eagles by 8 points in that fourth quarter. So they're the number 2 team.
Okay, all right, fair. Yeah. No, I think your logic is sound, Marshall. Yeah. I think your logic is sound.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't do the AFC. Who's the best? What's the best division in the AFC? It's got to be the West, right? Got to be.
Is it?
Is it the South?
It's definitely not the South. Maybe it is the South.
The South is the South. This year, the South is better than the North.
I might go.
The AFC.
I would say East. Just with those top 2 teams.
No.
The Patriots by themselves, man.
Come on,
and
man.
the
You have
Bills.
to have at least 3 teams in the mix.
The South has
3 teams in the mix.
Jags, Colts, Texans.
You ain't see the Dolphins in the playoff hunt picture? You didn't see that picture? I saw it.
Wow, what are they in the hunt?
And
what
the Jets
showing
just
all the
beat
teams
the
in the
damn
conference
Falcons. Sorry.
What is that?
That means nothing. Yeah, that
what does
does
that mean?
nothing.
I mean, they beat the Falcons.
Basically, you're saying they beat Akron. You know?
Did you all beat Akron?
No.
You didn't.
That was Penn State. Son of a
Man.
Boy, that hurt.
2 of your teams lost to Akron?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
No, one of my teams is Akron of the NFL. And honestly, that's unfair to Akron. We're Charlotte. We're UTSA. Anyways, continue, Marsh.
Question number 3.
From the 314, why do people get so up in arms about Notre Dame not having a conference title game while Miami, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oregon, and Texas all don't have one either? We can throw Texas out of here. They're not making the playoff.
No, they're not. So why are people all up in arms, you're saying, without the conference title win there?
Yes.
Over who?
Or just not even playing in a game. Over the other at-large bids that also do not have to play a game.
Well, short answer on that is those teams have better resumes. So if all things are equal, and we're saying the at-large teams are all in the same group, I'm sure you'd get the same at-large teams ranked that way. For example, Oregon. You can have somebody over Oregon? CD?
No.
I know Marsh will because he hates Oregon.
I'm not putting anybody over Oregon. I mean, except for the teams that are over them right now.
Right.
They got one loss. To who? The number 2 team in the country.
Indiana, yeah. You gonna put Texas over?
Hell no. Over who? What are you going to tell me? Texas Tech or BYU? Because the conference they play
because
such a tough conference and it's such the hardest thing in the world.
No, here's what I was going to say. We're going to put Texas over A&M? Yeah. You going to put Texas over Oklahoma? They beat them too.
They did.
Texas lost to the wrong teams.
Texas lost to Florida.
Exactly.
End of story. Don't care that you lost to Ohio State. That's a good loss.
Yeah, the Florida loss.
The Florida loss.
And the fact that you weren't competitive against Georgia really haunts you, too.
You weren't. Yeah. And you looked bad against UTSA. Was it UTSA?
Yeah.
Who was it? It was bad.
It was UTSA.
Come on, man.
One of the worst teams in college football.
You know what UTSA stands for? Most people don't.
University of Texas, El Paso.
UTSA.
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Son of a...
That's
I was thinking UTEP, who they also played, and that game was 27-10.
That's who I'm thinking about.
That's who you're thinking of. Yeah, it was UTEP.
The UTEP
Miners.
Good job.
That's right.
The UTSA
49ers.
No.
Roadrunners.
Nice job there, Marsh. Way to go, pal.
Thanks.
All right, we got to get to Joe Vitale. How many questions do we get to?
3.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's it. They're great questions, though. We had to answer
they were great. Absolutely. All right. Joe Vitale will join us next. We'll talk to him during the Blues loss, or about the Blues loss to the old Ducks, and I don't know. Maybe get to some of these injuries with Joe. Sad time to be a Blues fan, Marsh. Real sad time. But maybe Joe will lift their spirits. Next on 101 ESPN. I love the fact that my guy Stewie's on the line right now. He's always looking at the jobs report, too, and what that means for us when it comes to refis and loans and debt consolidation and all that. So, Stewie, what can you tell us about the latest jobs report?
Small businesses, that's companies that have 50 or less employees working for them, 32,000 jobs were cut in the month of November. That's a pretty big number, unexpected. This is good fuel for the Federal Reserve to go ahead and cut those interest rates. So interest rates dropped today. It's a great opportunity. And if they cut the interest rates again, and next week, actually, on December the 10th, you may see things become very, very good. However, the interest rate drop today is probably as good as it's going to get. So if they don't cut the interest rates or they make comments that they may not cut in the future, you may actually see interest rates go up. That means lock now, because this is the lowest, this is the best, If rates go down later, you can always refinance for free with the bagel loan. But today is a great day for interest rates.
That is why you need to call or text Stewie on his personal cell phone number, 314-324-4440. Same number, by the way, that I used to reach out to Stewie recently when he helped my wife and I with a couple of questions, and he even did so on a Sunday night. He loves helping people out. He's the man. Again, give him a call, shoot him a text. Do it with urgency, though. Don't be on the sidelines constantly. Allow Stewie to do the work for you. He loves saving people money across the board. So give him a call, shoot him a text. If you missed the number, you can always Google the bagel loan. Thanks, Stewie.
Have a great night, Anthony.
NMLS number 226715.
It's time to head into the Blues Booth, presented by Boardwalk Hardwood Floors. This holiday season, Boardwalk is proud to partner with Toys for Tots as a drop-off location for the annual toy drive. Find your nearest showroom and drop-off details at boardwalkhardwood.com.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 503. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by our guy, Joe Vitale. What's up, Joe?
What's up, boys?
Oh, all is well here in St. Louis. It's cold, just like it is in Boston, I'm sure.
Same. But I tell you, it's a good city. Boston's one of my favorite cities in all of America. I mean, there's not a better city in America than Boston outside of St. Louis, right?
Oh, yeah. Tons. New York, Detroit, Chicago, Dallas.
Bogus.
Miami for sure.
Vegas.
If you got one city to go to and you're leaving St. Louis, you're going to Boston, boys. I'm telling you, it's the best city in America.
I think I've only been once. And I just played the Patriots.
How'd you like it?
Yeah, I got out of there real quick. Joey, I was wanting to ask you this. We saw all the conversations about Jordan Bennington and Monty and that whole, conversation that they were having as he was leaving the ice. Have you ever had a situation where you had to cuss out a coach?
Yeah, I mean, listen. I don't even know if he cussed him out. I mean, it certainly looked theatrical, but to know exactly what he said it's hard to really tell. I think it's a kid that's. Certainly, I say kid. He's a young man, obviously, but a kid in my eyes is we're all old. But a man that has a ton of fire, and he wants to be in there. I said on the broadcast, and we showed it, and I stand by it. It's a guy that wants the net. If I'm a teammate of his, I don't look at it like it's a selfish act. I don't look at it like he's criticizing the coach. To me, it's rooted in this guy wants to be there. He wants to, it's early in the game. It's only 10 minutes or so into the game. He had a long way to go. I think that one of those, that first goal, to me, it looked like it was tipped right in front of him. Also, he got kind of that flash screen with Mayu coming across his eyes. So that one was kind of like, I don't really know, and also just a weird shot. But second one, I think he'd like to have back, but that's just the one goal. I've never got into it publicly, Carey, where cameras were on us. I've definitely had my back and forth in the coaches' meetings, which I think at the end of the day, that's kind of the place where I think players and coaches alike would like to have those conversations. But it's also sports. I mean, it's up tempo, it's high energy, it's emotional, and in some ways you like to see the emotion though too. So listen, if I'm a player on that team and my goalie gets pulled, my starting goalie gets pulled, and he just comes off, takes off his helmet, sits down, and just kind of watches the game, part of me is like, hey, are you mad at all? Are you want, what I mean? So it's like the old Jekyll and Hyde. It's hard to know which one, but it's all water under the bridge now, and I think that Monty and Bennington obviously handled it very well the following days. And you know what? These are those things that you just don't know. Could it spark a group? Back in 2018, it was when Bortuzzo fought Stanford, and they just went on a run. You see these goofy things happen in the season. Could it light a fire underneath Bennington? He could take this team on a nice little run. I wouldn't rule it out.
Well, Joe, one thing that would help would be an improved power play. 0 for 6 on Monday night. I can't imagine that Anaheim, with their rough PK unit, did something that really confused the Blues. I mean, I know we've asked you this before, Joe, but what are the issues right now with the Blues power play?
Well, I think that it's still just a lot of newness, a lot of rawness, and you have Jimmy Snuggerud out there that's starting to get into a bit of a rhythm, and they were towards the top half of the league for a while there, and then all of a sudden you lose Jimmy Snuggerud, and you have one timer out there in Dalibor Dvorsky, but it kind of throws off the rhythm of things. Jim Montgomery did make an adjustment. He put Justin Falk on that unit with Robert Thomas, gives everyone a little bit different of a look. I think it's a coach that is constantly still looking for rhythm, looking for chemistry, and he's constantly putting guys in and out looking for it. And then, like I said, when you have new guys, it's hard. So it's kind of the, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, if the guys don't want different players coming in and out, they got to go out there and have the chemistry. But they don't have the chemistry, so you got to move guys in and out. One thing I will say about power play, the best power plays in the league, there's reading, reacting, but you're putting pucks in the spots where guys are going to be. You don't have time to pick your head up and find a guy. That's where having, that consistency, the guys that play together for 3 years, like we're in Boston, and I go back to the Bergeron, Torrey Krug, Brad Marchand days where their power play was just completely lights out. But it was guys that been together 4 or 5 years. They just, again, they're not even looking where they're passing. They just know the guy is going to be there. They put it right on his tape every time. I just don't know if the Blues had that just yet. It's going to hopefully take a little bit more time. But like you mentioned, Stalt, that was an opportunity in that game to make a difference, especially against a kill that has not been very good in the Anaheim Ducks, and they let it slip away.
Joe, we've seen Dalibor Dvorsky make the jump to the NHL. He played a few games last year. He got called up earlier this season, and he's done a fine job. Now we have another player coming up, Alexandre Kaskimaki. What are you expecting to see out of this young guy?
Yeah, I'm excited to see him. You know, he definitely brings something very different than what Dalibor Dvorsky is going to bring to the table. You know, and, you know, I think Cignetti is a player that they loved. They loved in the preseason. They loved his ability to eat up bottom 6 minutes, you know, and Jim Montgomery talked about him being a player that, you know, a lot of times players that are drafted, they're drafted for their offensive prowess. And he's not wrong. Typically players are. And then as you kind of groom them into the year, into their careers, you have to develop the defensive side of the game. Well, you know, a player like Cignetti, he's actually a little bit different. You know, he's got the flip side. He actually takes a ton of pride in the defensive side of the game. And, you know, I think that's where you have him in a third line, fourth line role where he's going to be on the right side. So what am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to seeing a player that plays the game the right way. You know, doesn't cheat the game. He's always on the defensive side of battles. You know, he's going to take pride in blocking shots, getting pucks out, you know, doing all the little things that really just don't show up on the score sheet that help teams win games.
Joey, you're starting to see the injuries kind of pile up for this team right now. The identity line is banged up and injured, and guys are out. Does that put more pressure on anyone specifically, or any line in particular, or is it just you got to go out there and do your job and do it at a higher level than you've been doing it thus far?
Yeah, I think, Carey, you know, it's with hockey, if anything, it's one thing that's always been true. It is that next man up mentality. You know, when you lose guys, I don't care if it's, you know, top line guys or mid line guys or a bottom line guy like Nathan Walker, you know, everyone brings something special to the table. You know, hockey isn't built around, you know, 12 forwards all playing like Connor McDavid or Robert Thomas. You know, you have different role players, and certainly a player like Nathan Walker in a checking role. You know, Alexei Toropchenko certainly is one of the best forecheckers you have. You know, so Jimmy Snuggerud can shoot. Everyone brings something different. So when now players are out, there's different holes that other guys have got to fill. You know, is it Jake Neighbors taking on more of a physical role now? You know, him stepping outside his comfort zone just a little bit, right? Not completely, but just raising it up a notch or two. You know, is it a player like a Braden Shen or Pavel Buchnevich without, you know, Toropchenko on the forecheck? Do they have to find another gear on the forecheck? Again, not completely abandon what they bring, but just bring it up a notch. You know, everyone, if they bring it up just one little notch, well, 12 forwards bringing it up one notch is going to make up the difference for players that lost. Where teams really get tripped up is when you lose a player, they try to replace that full player with another player, and then it just gets so chaotic. But where I've seen it the best, where teams have that next man up mentality, where they don't really miss a beat. You know, you look at the Ottawa Senators as a perfect example, who were in town last week. They lose Brady Tkachuk, their centerman, of course, their captain, their leader, and they didn't really miss a beat. They actually went on a nice little winning tear there. And you talk to some of the players, you look at players like Giroux and Perron and Lars Eller, guys that have all played over 1,000 games. They've been on the block. They know what it takes. And, of course, what it takes is everyone's got to bring just a little extra. And if everyone does that collectively, it's going to be just fine.
Joe, the Blues sit 3 points out of a playoff spot, 3 behind the Seattle Kraken, who are in that second wild card spot. Does it say more about the Blues' ability to sort of inchworm their way and gain points while not playing their best hockey, or teams just not really grabbing a hold of their chance to separate in the standings?
You know, I think that it's an encouraging note. You know, it's a really encouraging note to think that this team is still that close, and they haven't really scratched, to me, their potential just yet. You know, and I've used the old whack-a-mole, I think, on your guys' show, and it really, this year kind of feels like that, where it's right when you figure through one situation, another one kind of pops up, and just when you think you got your grasp on defensive zone, goaltending, forechecking, your goal scores are going, then all of a sudden now injuries, right? Now injuries are starting to pop up. So, and it's not excuses, but it is just seems like every time you try to gain ground in the areas you need to gain ground in, other areas just start to expose themselves. So right now it's going to be that injury bug, right? We're going to see what this team can do. We're going to see how they can build upon it. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a team that knows they're underperforming, and you're still within striking distance, you know, and I think that, you know, you go back to last year, I always go back to this one, but Jim Montgomery's team, I believe they were 6 points out of a playoff spot around that Four Nations tournament that happened in February. So fast forward another couple of months, they're in a better spot right now, and they have more time to make up ground. So it's not something this team hasn't done before, Not to say that it's going to happen every year like that, so you got to get things in gear. But it's certainly within their grasp, and now this team has to figure out the next step now, moving on after all these injuries.
And I think it could be worse. You could be the Stanley Cup runner-up or the President's Trophy winning team in the Winnipeg Jets, Edmonton Oilers, who are basically in the same position right now. It could be worse.
Well, exactly. I mean, for the Jets too, it's they lose their biggest piece, which is Connor Hellebuck. And this is no disrespect to the players that the Blues have lost, but a young Jimmy Snuggerud hasn't really fully found his potential yet. Nathan Walker, he's a guy that's in a checking role. He's hard to replace, don't get me wrong, but it's not like a Binnington or your alpha going down in Robert Thomas or the beast of a Colton Parayko on the back end or a Philip Broberg. So there are different injuries that mean different things, and like I said, there's certain players that are very, very difficult to replace, and for other teams like the Winnipeg Jets, like you mentioned, who won the President's Trophy last year, being without their goaltender here for a little while, that could really break that team.
Joe, we appreciate you, man. Have a great time in Boston. Bring home a win tomorrow, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Hey, sounds good, boys. Anytime. Always great chatting with you.
You too. Thank you. That's Joe Vitale here in the Fastline on 101 ESPN. You can listen to him pre-intermission, post on the Blues Radio Network. And don't forget, we get the Blues and Bruins pregame tomorrow starting at 5 o'clock. Puck drop at 6 o'clock with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Don't forget, tomorrow night, while you're getting ready for that Blues game, why don't you go out to the Hot Shots in Fenton because Carey Davis will be there. You can watch the Thursday Night Football game and the Blues game with CD and Rafe. Again, tomorrow night, 6:30 to 8:30 at the Hot Shots in Fenton. You can get signed up for some one-on-one ESPN giveaways as well as some point giveaways. Enjoy a cold Bud Light. That's tomorrow night, 6:30 to 8:30 with Carey Davis, Rafe, and Bud Light at the Hot Shots in Fenton. It's the Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Are there currently any trustworthy NFL playoff teams? I do think there's one. And Carey's going to hate it. That's next on 101 ESPN. 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Marsh, I know that you were looking at a tweet by Jeff Howe, who said playoff seedings, including each team's record against current playoff teams. Newsflash, it ain't good.
No, yeah. Jeff Howe, NFL insider for The Athletic. Well, he put those teams on that tweet and their records, like you said, against current playoff teams. And let's just go down the list, right? AFC, we have the Patriots, number 1. Well, they're 2-0 against playoff teams. That's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, they really haven't played anybody outside of 2 games that are in the current playoff picture, but they're 2-0. Broncos, man, they've won a lot of games.
Yes, they have.
1-2 against current playoff teams. The Jags.
Yeah.
Carey doesn't believe in them.
No.
After believing in them a lot earlier in the season, 2-2, so they're 500. Ravens, 1-2. Chargers, 1-2. Colts, 2-1. Bills, 2-1. So not a ton of games there, but it is what it is. NFC of the Bears, who are 1-1. They just picked up their first win against a playoff team against the Eagles on Friday. Here's a team for you, the Rams. What do you think, Carey? Couple wins? 3
the
wins?
Rams are probably versus playoff teams?
Yeah.
Probably 1-2.
Yeah, 6-2 are those Los Angeles Rams. Eagles 3-2. Bucks 2-4. Seahawks 1-3. Packers 0-1. And the 49ers are 2-3.
How the hell have the Rams played 8 playoff teams? What are they doing?
Seriously. And one of those losses, if you remember, was in Philadelphia, where the Eagles blocked the kick.
Mm-hmm.
That would have won the game.
Yeah, that would have won the game. Now, he still would have had to make the kick, obviously, but it's not like they were blown out in that game. I can't remember who the second team was that they lost. 49ers? 49ers had to be.
Oh, the 49ers.
They lost them on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Short week. 49ers got them. By the way, since we brought up the 49ers, happy birthday to our girl Tanisha in the Snake Pit today.
Happy birthday song, of course.
Happy birthday today to Tanisha, who apparently got a Nick Bosa jersey.
Oh, very nice.
Just saw that. She posted that in the Snake Pit. So happy birthday to Tanisha in the Snake Pit. All right, so Marsh, this leads you to the question of who in the NFL right now, out of the playoff teams, who's trustworthy? You'd probably say the Patriots, but CD, you brought up a good point yesterday. It's not like they're battle tested.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of people on their roster that have gone through that fire.
No.
Their coach has.
The coach has. Stephon Diggs has. Has Hunter Henry?
He was with the Titans and who else? What
Bengals.
Chargers.
Was he a Bengal?
I don't think he was a Bengal. He's been in a lot of places.
Hayden Hurst.
Yeah,
maybe.
you are.
Yeah. So again, not a lot of playoff experience for the Patriots. So do you really trust them?
Bills.
Ravens, yes, but do you trust this Ravens team?
No,
hell no,
no. I'm looking at if you're looking at. I mean, the teams that you are accustomed to seeing in the playoffs are on the AFC side are the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bengals. And 3 of those teams 2 of them are not even in the playoff picture right now. They're not in the playoffs, and the Bills are hanging on by a thread at the 7th seed.
Yeah.
The Ravens, by default, because nobody in the AFC North gives a damn about football enough to play well enough that somebody has to win. It's become like the NFC South from years past. Somebody got to win it. The Ravens are like,
years
why not?
past right now.
Why not us?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're going to have a few teams in this playoff picture. The Denver Broncos are another team that is, up and coming, right? They are a team that's up and coming and finding a way to make their playoff push, but not a lot of playoff experience on that roster right now. So it's going to be intriguing to watch how – I'm going to be intrigued to see how the Patriots fare for the rest of this season. They're on their bye week now. Like I said yesterday, that's a great time to have a bye week, especially when you're playing this well, to kind of get healed up, rest, recover mentally. It's more of the mental grind of working every week, every day, and running into people, and then to finally have a week off where you can kind of just rest and recover. And I'm sure Vrabel has done a good job. His staff, they're going to give those guys time off to get ready for the following week. But it's going to be interesting to see how they finish out the season, if they're able to hold on to that number 1 seed that they have right now, and who, if anyone, can overtake them.
Let's clarify this. Patriots, how they're playing now, you trust them. But when it comes to the playoffs and that being a different beast,
you just haven't seen it.
The Broncos, we saw it a year ago. And granted, I thought they were a year ahead of schedule when they went to the playoffs last year. Obviously, they got blown out.
Mm-hmm.
They got blown out by, was it Buffalo that crushed them? They were on the road.
Let's see.
I know it was ugly. They actually scored first.
Oh, it was. Yeah, they scored first and didn't get it.
They were up like 7-0.
31-7.
Okay.
Yeah, wild card.
So Denver, do you trust them? No, especially with the way they've been playing. Jaguars, absolutely not. The Ravens, you trust the playoff history. You don't trust the playoff. You don't trust the team right now. Chargers, ain't no way in hell you trust them.
Is Justin Herbert even playing? He had surgery.
He had surgery. Apparently, it's going to come down to like the pain management for him. The Colts, no, you can't trust them with the way they're playing. Bills, you trust the playoff history. But this Buffalo team has a lot of holes, as we've talked about. You flip over to the NFC, Bears are a complete unknown. The Eagles, you trust the history, but not the way they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks, not really. Seahawks, no. We talked about Sam Darnold's numbers in the second half.
Trust the Rams.
That's why I skipped over them.
I know.
Did it on purpose for theatrics.
I'm sorry.
Packers, no. 49ers, maybe. They're just not healthy.
Yeah.
You trust
Kyle
Shanahan.
Been healthy, and they're finding a way.
Yeah. The Rams are the only team where you're like, okay, the way they're playing, I know they just lost to Carolina, but with the way they're playing, and given the fact that Stafford and Sean McVay and some of those pieces at least were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, you trust them.
They have a lot of they have veteran leadership. They have guys that have played in a lot of games and have the experience. And when your quarterback has won a Super Bowl, that makes life a little bit easier. It allows you to understand that he's been in that moment. He's for whatever period, he's the most important player on the team. On every team, the quarterback is. So him having that playoff experience, that championship experience speaks volumes to where this Rams team can go. I hated that loss against the Panthers. I don't know if that was more about the weather, about the Panthers, about the Rams. I have no clue. I didn't think it was a good loss for the Rams because watching that game, I'm telling you, it just felt like they were on cruise control. The first quarter and a half,
they went up
it was
and
like
down
they
the
were
field,
just
no
like
problem.
But it felt like it was never any sense of urgency until it was a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, they're playing. Matthew Stafford was careless with the ball a couple of times, threw it to the Panthers. You're like, you ain't thrown an interception all in about 8-9 weeks. And here you are throwing a couple of them to the Panthers. So,
and then the backbreaker, of course, was the fumble.
Yeah.
We were watching the game. So I was watching the games with Killian, and I looked at him. I said, "He just got to just protect the ball, protect the ball, just protect the ball." And immediately he fumbled. They were already in field goal range. You could have just kicked the field goal. Assuming, of course, you make it, you go in overtime, you take your chances. But no, you're right. They were careless.
Yeah.
They deserved to lose that game, quite frankly. But given the resume and the fact, too, I don't think that they are a typical warm weather / dome team. They went into Philly last year and gave the Eagles hell.
Yeah.
In the snow.
Yeah.
They just couldn't slow down Saquon Barkley, and not many teams did last year, which is one of the big reasons why the Eagles won the Super Bowl. But I don't think if they have to go into Chicago, like let's just say it winds up being exactly this, right? This exact order.
I would still trust the Rams in that situation.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Where in years past you'd say, warm weather team,
right.
dome team, having to go to Chicago, Green Bay, Buffalo, whatever. No chance.
I think this version of the Rams is
Philly
really good because of their ability to run the ball as well. Like Kyron Williams, Blake Corum. Like I think that those two, they've done a really good job of running the ball successfully this year. And then you got the addition. I didn't know what to expect from Devontae Adams after the last 2 years in New York. Like I had no clue, but he's still. In terms of like one-on-one, getting past a cornerback, it's him and maybe a couple other people that I would have on that list. He is outstanding in press coverage versus a DB. I know that they are deathly afraid when they're lined up against him because he can go outside, inside. He's going to break you down and find a way to catch that ball. So I think the addition of him alongside of Puka Nacua, the offense side, I think they're outstanding, and defense has been really good too.
You know, that reminds me too. That's Marsh brought up yesterday how certain teams are willing to move on, knowing when the right time is to move on. The Rams knew when the right time was to move on from Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
And Cooper Kupp has been okay in Seattle, but he is really an accent piece. And who isn't because of Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Right.
But Cooper Kupp really ain't doing much at all. They move on from him. They didn't make it about sentiment. They knew that his better days were behind him. They got the best out of Cooper Kupp, and they moved on. They added Devontae Adams, and they added another element to their offense. They know what they're doing, unfortunately, for a lot of Rams haters. Yeah. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We got Bet the Board next. You could get paid off for your NBA hunches at Underdog. You know the people that like to tell you, well, I knew that player was going to go off tonight. Don't be that person. Actually get paid for your NBA hunches at Underdog. And playing an Underdog is super easy. Just choose whether or not players that you like or don't like will go higher or lower on their totals. When it comes to points, rebounds, assists, they got it all. They even got fantasy numbers on a lot of these players, too. So if I'm looking at tonight's games, for example, I like the Joker to go higher than 29.5 points against Indiana. I do not like, coming off the injury, Kawhi Leonard to go higher than his point. I'll go lower on Kawhi Leonard at 24.5. Those are a couple of my picks. You can build your entries. If you get them right, you can win up to 5,000 times your money, and you can play for as little as $1. Download the app today. Use my promo code Anthony. Just my first name. That's it. At sign up to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, that promo code is Anthony at Underdog, where you can make plays and win money. Must be 18 or older. Present in Illinois, or present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.nspgambling.org.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We talked with Joe Vitale at the beginning of the 5 o'clock hour. If you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Blues off tonight, but they'll take on the Boston Bruins tomorrow. We'll have an early pregame for you at 5 o'clock. Puck drop is at 6. It is time to bet the board. That's next, right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Marsh has told you in the Sports Center update, time for Bet the Board. By the way, Master Sin in the Snake Pit, it's his birthday as well. So, Tanisha from the Snake Pit, Master Sin, it's his birthday. So, happy birthday to you. From us here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Happy birthday. Okay.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Like it. All right, Marsh, what are our latest standings?
Yeah, Jamie's in first place with 2 points. The rest of us tied at 1.
You didn't hit last night, Marshy?
I didn't know. I had Dallas over 2.5. I was trying to debate to myself, do I go Dallas money line? Do I go over 2.5 goals? Well, it didn't matter. They went to overtime. They had a chance to score an empty net goal. The Rangers tied the game, and they won in overtime. So I did not get the point.
That's a bad beat.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple opportunities, Anthony. I was watching the game last night. I was locked in on the game, and they couldn't score.
Lock it in.
Sorry, buddy. Jamie did send in his pick. Capital Sharks over in the first period.
Did you check it?
Checking it now, because he sent that very early.
Like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, he did. So, let's see. Do you got him there, Marsh?
No, I do not. But typically, those over 1.5 goals in the first period are under that minus
Capitals who?
threshold.
But not always.
Who is it?
Capitals and Sharks. First period here. Okay, got it. First period. Yes, over 1.5 is minus 135. Hiku. He's all right. All right, Marsh, I think you're up, right?
Yeah, I'm going to college hoops tonight. BYU, number 9. BYU takes on California Baptist. Well, California Baptist is 7-1.
No, you don't want to screw around with them.
Preseason ranked to be the best team in the WAC.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like the fake MAC.
Kind of, yeah. Their one loss came to the Colorado Buffaloes, in which they were winning that game. Ended up losing by 8. But BYU, slow starts for the Cougars. Give me California Baptist. Alternate spread, plus 20.5.
Okay.
At minus 140.
You go, Marsh. All right, sounds good. I'm also, after winning in the hardwood last night, I'm going to stay at the hardwood. Give me Arkansas, plus 1.5 at home against number 6, Louisville. Plus 1.5, Arkansas hosting Louisville tonight. Spread doesn't make sense. Feels like it should be higher. That's why
Louisville.
So I'll take the points on that, 1.5.
I'm going to take Karl Anthony Towns and Musa Diabate to both have 8 or more rebounds. It's at minus 107.
So you are also going back to the well.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. You go, Carey. Way to go, kid.
Thank you.
Last Minute Blues podcast is going live at Hot Shots in Fenton on Tuesday, December 16th in support of Operation Food Search. Bring a canned or non-perishable food donation and score one of the brand new Last Minute Blues podcast stickers. You'll have a chance to win a signed Jordan Binnington jersey, tickets to multiple upcoming Blues home games, and even a chance to potentially play their game, Good Puck, Bad Puck. Plus, Alex Ferrario, Jeremy Rutherford, and Donnie Fandango will host a live edition of the Last Minute Blues podcast featuring a few special guests that you won't want to miss. Get all the details on the live Last Minute Blues podcast happening on December 16th at Hot Shots in Fenton, now at 101ESPN.com. Well, boys, we've reached the end of the show here. Going to have to wrap things up. Things we learned. 3 stars of the day handed out by the one and only Andrew Marsh.
There's another Andrew Marsh.
There is. He plays for Michigan.
He does.
He didn't have a catch in that game either.
No.
Did he play?
Oh, he played.
He didn't have a catch.
He had a big game against Northwestern.
Different team.
Very different.
Than the Ohio State.
Yeah. Although Northwestern, they put up a fight against the Fighting Illini.
It was a snowstorm. And we won. Land of Lincoln.
Was it a snowstorm in Madison, Wisconsin the week before?
Anthony. All right.
What happened there?
We got our butts kicked, man.
That's for,
it was cold.
That's for forcing me to remember that CMU lost to Akron this year in Akron. Probably cost us a chance to play for the MAC championship.
Probably. Unfortunately.
You never know. If you don't lose that game, maybe you don't lose some other games.
You never know.
Next thing you know, you're in the college football playoff.
Anybody's getting in this year, looks like.
Yeah. We would have had some good losses,
This would have been the year to get in.
We would have had good losses to Pitt and to Michigan. So
huge win on the road at San Jose.
Yeah, no, seriously,
win.
though.
Huge win.
Actually, they would have got their act together.
You know, here's the thing. Here's the thing about my Fire Up Chips. Okay, they're in they were rebuilding, brand new coach. Okay, and look what they accomplished. Mm-hmm. They were right there around the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. Next year,
drink all.
Next year we'll be we'll either be in Detroit for the MAC championship and or college football playoff.
I love it.
No,
Let's
you know
go.
what I mean?
Fire up chips.
Mm-hmm. Damn right, CD.
Yeah.
I can see it in your eye. You're on board.
It is disappointing, though, that there could be 2 group of 5 teams, and one of them just isn't the Chips.
Yeah, you're right about that.
If you're going to make us watch it.
Yeah, you might as well make us watch.
Watch action.
Yeah. Tell you what, those Chips, defensively, outstanding. Yeah. And we will move the ball with one of our 5 QBs. I can guarantee that.
Now, they do play against a team.
Yeah, we got 5.
Or teams that, I don't watch the MAC all that much.
You watch it during action, though. I know you.
Yeah, I mean, I saw one quarterback who skipped a 7-yard pass.
He was mad.
Yeah, you weren't happy.
No, I wasn't.
He was mad about that.
Didn't matter, though.
No, it didn't. Yeah. Not one bit. All right, we'll wrap up the show next on 101 ESPN. So we are approaching the start of the new year. Why don't you do something for yourself this year as opposed to just getting into the gym and then going in and then quitting because you don't have the motivation, you don't feel great. You wind up just doing the same thing as you always do. You start fast and then, finish up and you're like, you know what, I'm not going back. Go to Mentality. Mentality's there to help. A lot of the signs that you might be experiencing, from low energy to being tired all the time to gaining weight to snapping at people. No, first and foremost, you're not alone. But second of all, those are signs potentially of low testosterone, and Mentality is there to help. Jamie and I have been on the program now for quite a while. Love it. I love being on the Mentality program. I love the way I feel. Mentality makes it simple. I can go down to one of their 2 locations, either in Chesterfield or the one I go to usually is the one in South County. When it comes to just feeling great, getting that drive back, burning the belly fat, building the strength, boost of the mood, which is huge, as you know. I love what Mentality does for me. So this year, stop settling. Be the dad who keeps up. Be the partner who's present. Be the man you know you can be. Visit mentalityhealth.com/radio right now to book your appointment, or better yet, just go down and see the fine people that work at Mentality. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you in there. You will see the difference, and do so before the start of the year so you're ready to go when you do go get back into the gym. You start feeling great again. Don't wait. Get back to being you with Mentality. miss anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's mobile app. All the podcasts brought to you by Shaver Door Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today. Carey, what'd you learn?
Yeah, I learned that people don't like it when you call your program your program.
But you explained that incredibly well, though.
Listen, telling you, a couple years in, that's what it becomes. Working hard, man.
Working hard, putting in that work.
Yeah.
Winds up being a program. Marsh, what'd you learn?
I learned today that it is more nerve-wracking talking to a group of high school students face-to-face when given a presentation than it is to speak on the radio in front of the entire city.
Yeah. Do tell, Marsh.
Well,
where were you this morning?
I was at Lafayette, my high school, doing a presentation for sports business class. Just kind of telling the kids what we do around here and trying to generate some excitement for sports media.
Nice.
Kids
and
brutal.
How'd you do?
I think I did well. I don't know.
What were some of the questions you were getting?
Oh, let's see. What the hardest part of the job is.
Okay.
That was one of them.
What'd you say?
I said content creation.
Dealing with us.
100%. That's probably not great, but I think that content creation is definitely the hardest. then you think you come up with something, and there people are like, "Why are you guys talking about this?"
Yeah. And the next thing you know, you create Freedom Friday.
And really,
Out of spite.
Honestly, that's a good lesson for everybody. The content can be created anytime, anywhere, and any venue.
Yeah, public speaking, I don't like it. Because you think like, oh my gosh, like what am I saying right now?
Sometimes you can get lost in your words.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever done that? Like I've been somewhere like speaking at a speaking engagement, and then I can hear myself talking. I'm in a vortex. I'm like, oh God, how do I get out of this?
I'm just banging off the walls. I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did fine, Mark.
Oh,
but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was a good time.
Well, good. Excellent. What I learned is that CD absolutely, and it's not that I learned, it's confirmed. It's confirmed that CD absolutely hates the SEC.
I don't hate the SEC.
He does not want to see SEC teams. He'd rather have 5 Big Ten teams in the college football playoff, if not 6, over any SEC program.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
I know I get you fired up.
Chips?
Yeah, nice. Marsh?
Yeah.
Do you want to do 3 stars?
We had a question. We don't do criticism and compliments anymore.
No, we're usually up against the clock. Yeah.
We called it
I mean, we
complaints and compliments.
we had a couple minutes here. If we
what he
wanna...
meant, or she meant.
No, we do criticisms.
No, they said complaints and compliments.
I got you.
But
Okay.
they meant criticism and compliments.
Yeah, that's nice how you did that. I knew what you meant.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, all good.
I'm here for the people.
There you are.
I got a criticism for me from a Marquette person, basically criticizing me for being a Lafayette alum.
That's not his fault.
Criticize.
So if I lived one street over, I would have went to Marquette. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that wasn't the case, though.
My brother-in-law teaches at Marquette.
Okay.
They're the Mustangs.
Mustangs, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Marquette Mustangs.
Nice.
His wife, my sister-in-law, Karen, teaches at Westminster.
Okay. Different Karen from Jamie's.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she is not Canadian.
Yeah.
You sure?
Positive.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, now
She
do we
was
want to
Canadian.
do?
My wife would be Canadian.
Do we want to do our 3 stars?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
All right, 3rd star of the day. We're going to give it to Carey for making Anthony's coffee.
Yeah.
Nice job. So sweet.
That
The
was.
more you can do around here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a while. We're like, man, Carey's running a little late. Then you came in, 2 coffees, cream, sugar, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because you didn't know.
I didn't know what you liked. I just to make sure.
And I looked over, I saw what you were doing. I'm like, I'm going to have the coffee Carey style.
Yeah.
So
Carey said that he could be a barista.
I think I might be. One day. I'm working towards it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
We might start making our own coffee, late afternoon coffee shop.
Sure.
Carey's Coffee.
Carey's Coffee. You stop by, you got to wait for the red light to go off, have them flowing in here, get it together, get out of here.
I like that, Carey.
Yeah.
I like that. That's smart.
Tip jar.
Yeah. Let's make sure let's make sure that happens.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
Second star of the day goes out to text messages that say we won't talk about a certain topic.
Yeah.
You won't talk about it.
You won't.
And we did.
We certainly did.
Yep.
Proved you wrong.
First star of the day goes out to college football programs.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
It's your
Absolutely.
program. 5 or 6 years in, man, that's when it starts.
Oh, yeah.
Till then, you're just running a program.
Absolutely.
It's your program going.
We tomorrow have Blues and Bruins pregame at 5 o'clock, so we're off a little early tomorrow. Well, these East Coast games making the fast lane 3 hours. We'll have the one and only Jamie Rivers with us from 2 to 3 tomorrow. Talk a little Blues hockey. So should be another good one. I'll do it for us tonight, though. For our guy Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, and Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.